Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, September 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 75. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron joins us at 7:30. Derek Stingley Sr. stops by at 8 a.m. Nick Underhill is talking Saints at 8:30. That's presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. And Joshua Sneed of SEC Shorts stops by at 9:30. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them, ask them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. Follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. And then get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content posted there daily. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online at 104.5ESPN.com. You can find us on your smart speakers this morning. You can watch us on YouTube. Hit the 104.5 ESPN station. Packed here on Tuesday. Talking lots of college football. Ed Orgeron going to be here. Lots of football. Ed Orgeron going to be here at 7:30 this morning. LSU head football coach. Tigers coming off their first loss in over 600 days. We'll ask what it was like implementing the 24-hour rule for the first time in a year and a half. Head coach will be here at 7:30 this morning. 8 a.m., Derek Stingley Sr. to shed some light on the weekend for the Stingleys. And imagine very anxious. We'll ask him about all of what happened on Friday night, what to expect from Sting Jr. moving forward. 8:30 this morning, we'll talk to Nick Underhill, New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton was speaking yesterday. We got some Cam Jordan sound for you before we get out of here at 10 a.m. this morning. SEC Shorts, third hour.
Yeah, we got Joshua Sneed, the creator of SEC Shorts, coming on. So we're just going to kind of like pick his brain about how he makes this sort of stuff.
The latest one's great.
I really appreciate it. The latest one is great. It's all about LSU trying to cover up the Mississippi State loss. The best part is when he talks to the A&M fan, and they're kind of both commiserating over their common struggles. But, yeah, I'm really excited to talk to Sneed. Also, as someone who tries to do a creative weekly thing that I have no idea what to do with now. He's...
How do you do it after a loss?
I don't know. I was already planning on only doing like 5 episodes this year, so I may not have an episode this Friday. We may push to next week so I can kind of recollect, because this is I don't really have the passion for it right now, and we got to figure out where this thing's going. So we'll figure it out, hopefully. But I'm excited to talk to Sneed is the overall point.
Could see a revival of Lady Moscona. I would think. A loss.
You would have to imagine that the Order of the Nega Tiger has been revitalized. Even if they've lost a little juice, since you have a natty in your back pocket,
right.
they're out there.
They're still loud.
They're out there.
Here are your headlines on this Tuesday, September 29th.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
LSU football head coach Ed Orgeron spoke to the media on Monday to recap Saturday's loss to Mississippi State and look ahead to the Vanderbilt game on Saturday. There was an announcement yesterday morning from the program. LSU's game versus Missouri in Tiger Stadium, scheduled for October 10th, will kick off at 8 p.m. Are you kidding?
Prayers for your people in the post game that are in this room, T-Bob and I.
I mean, hey, man, whiskey and wine.
Yeah, all three of us.
Spend the night at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Here is Ed Orgeron yesterday speaking to the media about the running back rotation.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. Obviously, Chris is our lead back right now, in my opinion, but Tyron and John, I thought John did some good stuff on short yardage. I mean, you would think that Chris and Tyron would be there in short yardage, but Kevin played him in short yardage. He had some good runs. So I'm pleased with our backs. I think we need to run the football more, get them more carries, and get them more touches out the backfield. They didn't catch the ball enough out the backfield.
Ogeron yesterday more. This is the last one.
That's one thing that I need to go back and watch the film again because I stopped doing it last year because they had fixed it. But I want to go chart protections because it felt like, and I don't know if they were or if the quarterbacks were deep, but it felt like they were holding guys in protection more. That was one of the most shocking things to me is that you didn't see a lot of those. I'm under pressure or I'm not seeing it. Just those check down dump offs, like get a couple yards and move on to the next down. So I hope they improve on that going forward.
Ogeron was giving a preview to Vanderbilt as the Tigers will travel to Nashville on Saturday.
First of all, Coach Mason is an excellent defensive guy. I've known him for a while. I used to study his stuff at Stanford. Kenichi Udeze, who coached the defensive line with me, who played defensive line, is now coaching their defensive line. And those guys are playing lights out. They're playing great technique. They're playing great defense. They have two of the best defensive linemen. One of them, one of the best linemen in the conference. They can rush the passer. So I think that's their strength.
LSU should benefit from the return of All-American cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., who missed the Mississippi State game after an illness sent him to the hospital on Friday night. Ogeron said although not all of Stingley's medical exams have been completed yet, the coach expects him back at practice as early as today. We'll talk to Coach Ogeron coming up here at 7:30 this morning. You got a question for the head football coach. Remember, Ask Coach O is the hashtag you use inside of the Bayou Ford chat app. We'll also talk to Derek Stingley Sr. coming up here at straight up 8 a.m., just like we do every Tuesday, as that conversation is brought to you by City Cafe, our friends over there on the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill. More college football news for you coming out on Monday. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart said Monday that transfer quarterback JT Daniels has been cleared from a knee injury that caused him to miss most of his final season at USC in 2019. He would be available. Daniels will be available to play in Saturday's game against Auburn at Sanford Stadium, according to Smart. Smart said he would wait to name the starting quarterback for Saturday's game against the number 7 Auburn Tigers. That game will kick off at 6:30 on ESPN Saturday night. The New Orleans Saints were speaking after a tough loss Sunday night to the Green Bay Packers. Both Cam Jordan and Sean Payton took part in Monday's conference call. Here was Sean Payton giving his explanation on Alvin Kamara's strong night.
I think the one trait that, until you see him on the field, the one trait is his physical balance. You know, he's got a skill set that can come off contact and stay very upright, and that becomes challenging to tackle. So there's a size or a strength element that's maybe undervalued with him.
Payton was talking about the secondary struggles against Green Bay and specifically in defending the long ball.
First off, Malcolm Jenkins played extremely well last night. I think both corners had their moments, and yet, we can be better. So it gets back to a little bit what we're just discussing about relative to the clock and the quarterback's head and the timing as it pertains to coverage down the field.
Cam Jordan yesterday on the conference call talking about his play.
Top of the run is sort of what we've done, and at the same time, we've got to be able to do more. We've got to put ourselves in favorable positions in terms of third down battles, where we can get them to actually, try and be pocket quarterbacks instead of these quick routes. I mean, I don't think I helped in terms of the 2 offside penalties I've had in the past 2 games, and that's something that you have to look at and get better from.
More penalties for the Saints on Sunday night. Here was Jordan's explanation.
There's been a ton of penalties on us the last 3 games. This season alone just tells you that we have to focus in on what is our discipline. So, what is our fundamental values? And once we eliminate once we eliminate these penalties, there's going to be so much, of an ability to actually get after the pass rush, to actually create our favorite positions for our team. Right now, it sort of seems like that's killing us. These self-inflicting penalties that are elongating drives. That's something that can't happen.
The penalties definitely are. I think that's one of the key reasons why. What is it? I think they forced 1 punt in their last 18 series.
Gross.
Has that New Orleans Saints defense. I know there's been like a turnover down, some other things in there. One of the oddest parts is the relative quiet of Cam Jordan. He's been good in the run game, as he always is. But you do expect him to be a consistent force in that backfield, harrying the quarterback, and you just haven't seen it thus far. But, I don't know if it's just because he's so likable or he's been so badass for so many years. I'm giving him a lot of rope to figure this thing out. But, look, they got 4 games here where they should at least go 3-1. And if they're going to, Cam Jordan's got to be a big part of that. Remember how the defense stepped up in the absence of Breeze last year? You got to do that in the absence of Mike Thomas.
After 3 weeks, the Saints are 1-2 on the season. They'll travel to Detroit for a noon kickoff that will be scheduled on Fox. Patrick Mahomes went 31 of 42 for 385 and averaged 6.5 yards per rush last night as the Chiefs moved to 3-0 on the seasons. 3-0 on the season, as they emphatically ended the Ravens' 14-game regular season win streak while extending their own win streak to 12, including the playoffs. The Super Bowl champs rolled past the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night. Lamar Jackson completed 15 of 28 passes for 97 yards. He ran for 83. 30 of those came on 1 carry during the opening possession. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 20 carries, 64 yards last night. He had 5 catches for 70 yards. Tyrann Mathieu had 5 tackles for the Chiefs, while Patrick Queen had 4 tackles in his middle linebacking starting spot for the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, dude, the Chiefs are so good. They just made a game that featured one team that had won, 11 in a row, and another team that had won, 12 in a row. They made that game boring. Yeah. That's how good they are. The only exciting parts were just the incredible plays that Patrick Mahomes makes. But I'm sorry, man. And I'm sorry, Mom. I've been calling him Pat. I will call him Patrick from now on. But does he have a rival in the NFL?
No.
He feels unparalleled, right? Or Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year for sure.
Yeah. Now that we're
sure.
just thinking about it out loud, because that name just popped into my head. It's got to.
You're right.
So
And
that
they'll
is
see
the
each other.
only one. That is the only one. That's pretty incredible. When you're so above and beyond at your job that you are nearly unparalleled
But I
with
will
him
say
and
this.
Wilson.
I will say this. You watch Wilson play, and he is spectacular. He is fantastic. But then you watch Mahomes play, and you think to yourself, Russell Wilson can't make that play.
I don't know though. I think
The arm. I mean, the scrambling out last night, getting to his left and just flicking his wrist to Hardiman 50 yards down the field. I mean, he drops it in the bucket. I know that Russell Wilson, the throw that he made to Metcalf, in which Metcalf screwed it up on Sunset,
he's an
that was a
incredible
beautiful
deep ball
pass.
thrower
That's
too,
right.
dude.
That's
They're
right. That's right.
actually now that we're talking about it out loud, they're actually kind of similar
yeah,
in the
there's-
amazing things they can do. I think Pat does have more of that easy looking flick, but I mean Russell's deep ball is
you're right.
also maybe
You're
the
right.
best. So I don't know.
What
I
about
mean,
NBA news closing out headlines. David Griffin get on a jet and get to Los Angeles last night and hire Doc Rivers. The Los Angeles Clippers, for whatever reason, have decided to let Doc Rivers walk. Steve Ballmer, the chairman of the Clippers, called it a mutual decision as Doc Rivers is stepping down from the LA Clippers as he has been there. The team fell short of its championship expectations this season after acquiring All-Stars Kawhi Leonard and Paul George last summer in what were NBA-altering moves. Rivers had 2 years left on his contract, according to ESPN. This is mindless for me. I think that the Pelicans should hurry up and make this happen. I think Doc Rivers is the best when it comes to personnel. I think Brad Stevens, some of those guys, Mike Budenholzer, Nick Nurse with Toronto, those guys are fantastic coaches. But as far as being able to relate with the players and
that's
coach
my
on the
thing.
floor, Doc Rivers, to me, is the best. And this young core that the Pelicans have, I think, would benefit greatly from a mind and a guy like Rivers in the locker room. We'll talk more about it
That's
coming
how
up.
I feel, dude. They need
on off the
someone who
bench.
has the respect of the
Absolutely.
players. And
100%.
And I can't sit here and pretend like I'm like a basketball X's and O's guy, because I'm not. So that is the angle I'm approaching it from. They need a steady, guiding hand that the players respect their resume. They know he's been through it before, and it's, like Jordy said, a young team. You bring him along. I love this. David Griffin's already reached out. It looks like early on here, it's going to be a competition between the Sixers and the Pelicans.
Those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench. If you have a question for Ed Ogeron, LSU head football coach, we will ask him in 15 minutes. All you have to do is use the hashtag AskCoachO inside of the Bayou Ford chat app if you're watching us on YouTube. If not, create an account, jump on the 104.5 ESPN station, subscribe there, subscribe to Off the Bench. Everything you hear over the next 3 hours will be highlighted on that station. We're live every morning here, 7 to 10 a.m. Compliments of All-Star Toyota. Come back with us.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, DGBauto.com. Remember, get in touch with Donaldsonville Glass and Body for any of your collision repair. If you've been in an accident, your vehicle needs repair, Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around since 1977, and they're ready to help today. 24-hour towing. It doesn't matter if it's alignment, if it's wheels, if it's an oil change, if you need the windshield repair. They can help you out with all of your automotive needs. Online, DGBauto.com.
DGBauto.com, DonaldsonGlassandBody.com. Y'all know about how my car broke down in that Chick-fil-A line the other day, and we had to go. We were hitting the road, right? This was right before we were going on a little family road trip, so I'm kind of panicking here. I call up DG&B. We leave the car at Chick-fil-A. They come and they pick it up, and they take care of it. I mean, that's the type of customer service that I'm talking about. And if you get in an accident, they'll come pick your vehicle up. They'll fix it. The body shop is the best in the state. And they'll drop it back off to your house. Go to DonaldsonGlassandBody.com, DonaldsonGlassandBody.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Here at the Big Squeezy, we continue to serve the Baton Rouge and Southeast Louisiana areas during these troubling times. We are dedicated to providing you healthy food items to help you live your best life. From our cold-pressed juices to our delicious smoothies, let the Big Squeezy keep you going. Stay active, stay happy, and let us help you stay healthy. Visit us at our locations and also inside of Alexander's and Methern's grocery stores or online at thebigsqueezy.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davies stops by for his weekly chat to talk LSU. Larry Holder talks some Saints with us, and Fines Walk talks beer. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank invite you to nominate someone for a Good Citizen Award. They could receive $500 from Citizens Bank, and we will recognize them live on air. Get all the details at citizensbankandtrust.com and nominate your good citizen.
In true off-the-bench fashion, not a lot of workshopping on this idea, but we're going to give away a Citizens Bank cooler that our friends over at Citizens Bank and Trust, Jim Ferguson and the crew over there, gave us for Whiskey and Wine on Saturday night. We're going to make this a dual giveaway with our Free Beer Friday winner come Friday, so you'll have something to cool down the beers with this weekend as you watch LSU Vandy on Saturday. That'll be a 6:30 kickoff. We have no idea how we're going to give this away to you, but we are going to give it away here on Off the Bench. Just jump inside of the Bayou Ford chat app and I guess explain why you want it. And I guess when it comes to Friday, Musso will be the one tasked with it. The responsibility on who wins it. Whoever wins the free beer. There you go, Moose. All right, Orgeron, lots of sound from O yesterday. He's going to stop by here in a couple of minutes. So if you didn't hear anything yesterday in the Orgeron 30-minute press conference that you may want to hear today, jump inside of the Bayou Ford chat app. All you got to do is use the hashtag AskCoachO, and we will ask him in a couple of minutes. I want to ask him about the protocol of communication between he and his defensive coordinator, Bo Pelini, in game. I'd like to just I'm just curious on, did Orgeron at some point feel like he was going to have to override him to get whatever, some type of formation out there to confuse Mike Leach or try to stop him.
The defensive breakdown, and admittedly coverage is not the part of the game that I know a ton about, but I enjoy reading people who do, and the Seth Galina breakdown on Pro Football Focus is pretty solid. It's not, as I continue to talk to people and I continue to look at the film, it's not just as simple as man or zone, right? It's more of the styles of coverage that you were playing, because sometimes you were in zone, but it's kind of that matchup zone where it kind of looks like man or turns into man, so you're technically running zone, but it ends up with the same problems. I recommend everybody goes read Seth's article, but yeah, it's that tight bump and run coverage. Maybe they could have played a little looser. He goes into how Chris Peterson in Washington has stopped Washington State in the past, and it's with a lot of cover one with what's called a rat defender, where which I'd never heard it called that, but that's what he called it, where you got a linebacker in the middle for those shallow meshes, those drag routes. So they were continually killing you on. You have a linebacker in the middle to impede the wide receiver's progress because you can hit it within 5 yards. Also, they can carry the route so that you're not in that trailing position constantly. So yeah, that was one of the kind of perplexing parts to me, is that there did seem to be a recipe. There did seem to be a recipe for how to attack this air raid. In fact, here is exactly what I was looking for. So Chris Peterson with Washington last year, the Huskies ran cover one or cover two man, which LSU was in the majority of the night, only 8 times on 114 pass plays. In fact, on 77% of the plays, only 3 pass rushers or less. So they were fully embedded in sitting back and making the quarterback beat them. Now, maybe Costello still could have, right? Because, let's also be clear. I know we're looking at it as a coach's angle. The players did not play well at all, and they constantly lost their one-on-ones. And when you're in that position as a coach, it's hard to know what will work, because it feels like nothing will work because you're not even close. You are getting burned. So this is on the players and it's on the coaches. I'm just a bit surprised they didn't crib more from Peterson's type of game plan, which has proven to be successful both against Gardner Minshew and Anthony Gordon in the past. KJ Costello is really good, but I mean, I would say, I'm not sitting here saying he's better than Gardner Minshew just yet.
If you were surprised, and we were surprised, listen to Mike Leach in the postgame. I mean, even he was surprised on LSU in their coverage on Saturday.
Going into the game, I guess we thought they'd play looser than they did, because they've got kind of a lot of 4 across in their arsenal. We thought they'd play looser. It turned out that they didn't play so loose, and then the space was getting crowded more and more, so we felt like we ought to go over the top. And KJ threw some good balls, and we made some really good catches too.
Yeah, so I mean, to go back to this Seth article again and what Washington did. So I mentioned 77% of the time they only rushed 3 or fewer. In those two games with Minshew and Gordon, those quarterbacks combined for 459 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 5 sacks. So it is a little perplexing that you just didn't try that kind of exact same strategy. Keep everything underneath, keep it spread out in zone where you're passing those crossing routes off, and then and make them beat you that way. And maybe they still could have, right? Like I said, because they were burning the players. So perhaps they still could have. I just would have liked to see it instead of just constant drag routes. And then when you try to go some zone at the end, I mean, you're just getting beat out the outside. So.
Daily brought to you by All-Star Toyota here on OTB Daily. Remember, All-Star Toyota is online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. They're also conveniently located where they have been since 2005 on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. Stop in and see the great team today. Aaron Piku over in sales, Tommy Wagaspak in the service department. Remember, you don't have to be a part of the All-Star family to experience the service department. There is a quick, easy entry on Goodwood right across from the old women's hospital. You can zip in right there, stop into the service department without an appointment. They'll get you in and out today, and you'll find out the convenience of being a part of the All-Star family. Online, All-Star Toyota at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Also, what route do you think killed them the most? I mean, I know they got beat on the outside a lot, but do you agree that it was probably the shallow cross?
It was absolutely the shallow cross.
So,
I mean, it looked like pregame warm-ups.
Well, that's where that gets interesting, too. They threw 82 shallow crosses last year, which was by far the most in the entire nation. So, again, just some perplexing things when you think about it from a game planning standpoint. I mean, maybe you just thought that your guys were up to the task. But then again, and like we said, when you realize they're not, though, the changes and the play left a bit to be desired.
So we'll ask
but it's
Coach
okay.
O.
You got to bounce back from here, man. I mean, look, if there's ever been a coach and a coaching staff that has proven in the past the ability to bounce back from adversity, it is this staff. And so I have full faith. Yesterday's Tell the Truth Monday. You swallow that bitter pill, and then you turn the page, and now you got to get ready for this weekend.
We'll ask Coach O who took what was the news and the message on Tell the Truth Monday, what to expect on Competition Tuesday as he explains the bounce-back efforts for LSU as they try to get right this weekend versus Vanderbilt. Remember, we'll talk to New Orleans Saints with Nick Underhill an hour from now. Always those conversations with Underhill are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. We're also going to talk to Derek Stingley Sr. coming up here at 8 a.m., the status of the top college football player on defense and Derek Stingley Jr. What is it? We'll ask his dad and get the story from the weekend coming up here at 8 a.m. Stingley's Conversation every week brought to you by City Cafe. Come back with us off the bench. We'll talk to Coach Ed Ogeron next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by the Lanois, Lanoix agency.com. Get in touch with BG this morning if you're looking for auto insurance, flood insurance, home insurance, business insurance. All of that can be handled today. They'll give you a free quote. In fact, we were telling you during pandemic, that if you were looking for a saving spot as money was crunched and you were looking for maybe a starting spot where you could get some savings, an insurance-free quote this morning from the Lanois may be a good phone call to make. Call them at 749-5640. Randy established the Lanois name. Brian and David handling it today. Get in touch with the boys, 749-5640 or online at LANOIX
And shout out Miss Nell as well. Shout out the entire Lanois clan. Getting my insurance right. They'll get your insurance right as well. Customize the policy for your specific needs. They'll also actively work to save you money at every turn. They're the best in that way. Go to LanoisAgency.com, LanoisAgency.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. We're live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street from 6 to 8 p.m. Come eat some steaks with us and say hello or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is Coach O, and you are listening to my favorite radio show, Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob, right here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Go Tigers.
Been a hell of a long time since we've talked about a loss with LSU football in these airways. In fact, over 600 days. Tell the Truth Monday, I'd imagine, was a little different for the football squad 24 hours ago, and Competition Tuesday should ratchet up today on the Ponderosa. Coach Ed Orgeron is with us every Tuesday here on Off the Bench. We always appreciate the head coach's time. We dialed him up this morning on ESPN, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Great to be on the show.
Yes, sir. Tell us about Tell the Truth Monday. What was the message to the squad?
Yeah. Hey, total truth. Hey, we got to coach better, make better adjustments during the football game, make better plans, put our players in better positions, and our players got to make plays. And it was a combination of both things. Give credit to Mississippi State. They had a good plan. They came and played. We got to play with more energy, more fire. Played the LSU standard performance, and we didn't. And that's all falls on me. We're going to get it fixed starting today, I promise you.
So from an offensive and defensive perspective, like what was the truth of the game? What did y'all identify as kind of where things went so wrong?
Well, first of all, especially on defense, the pass defense. I mean, there were too many mistakes, too many big plays, too many missed tackles, too many busts, too many guys running free. And that was a combination of a lot of things, and we just got to get that better. I thought on defense we rushed the passer well. But Ali Gabe played pretty well. A good player, Jabril Cox, scoring on defense is what we want to do, but we can't give up those big plays. On offense, 7 sacks, too much. Offensive line's got to do a better job of protecting. We got to make better decisions with the ball. Don't drop passes. We got to get our run game going.
Coach, what was your evaluation in game of Bo Pelini's defense and the communication of you guys on the sideline on how that flowed?
Yeah, I thought it was good. You know, we had good preseason games. We did it. But, hey, we went in there. We were going to play man, and it didn't work. And that's the bottom line. And we played some zone. We could have played some more. We could have made some more adjustments. They had a good scheme. We had some new players out there, no excuses. You know, losing Derek Stingley really hurt us, obviously. And then, Jay Ward had a meniscus tear and had a slight operation on his knee and just coming back and hadn't practiced at all. So, you know, there were some things there that we were hampered by, but hey, no excuse. We should have played better.
Coach, can we get an update on Stingley? We probably should have started there. The best defensive player in college football. You get the news on Friday night. He's going to the hospital. Then Saturday morning, he's bumped out of the lineup. Where is he now?
Yeah, first of all, Friday night, the concern was Derek Stingley's health, and he was first. And I'm just glad that he's okay. We were very worried. The team was worried. We found out midday through Saturday that he was going to be fine. So that's the most important thing. We expect him maybe back today, tomorrow, when all the tests are clear. But I'm going to let Jack and those guys tell me that. But I expect him to play this week. He haven't been totally cleared, but I think he's going to play.
Coach, like we were talking about, it's been so long since y'all have had one of these Tell the Truth Mondays, but y'all have shown an incredible ability to bounce back in the past. So when you suffer this kind of disappointment, what is the key to just getting the team ready for the next week and just flushing it and moving on?
Yeah, first of all, we have a 24-hour rule, but look, it's about fixing LSU. It's not about preparing for Vanderbilt, which we are going to prepare for them. But yesterday we had to fix us first, and we still fixing it. We're fixing it early this morning. We're going to fix it today. We just can't let Mississippi State beat us twice. And we got to fix us first. It's always going to be about us. So when we get ourselves better, which we will today, we'll start looking at Vanderbilt. And, you know, as the week goes on, that taste gets out of your mouth, you get hungry, it'll be somebody else. And I know that's going to happen.
Head coach of the LSU football program, Ed Ogeron, joining us here. ESPN, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria, presented by All-Star Toyota. After going over the film review of your quarterback, Miles Brennan, what did you see?
Inconsistency, some good things. You know, the long balls he threw and made some really good throws. But you know what? He's got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. Got to make some better decisions in the pocket. But we got to protect him better too. You know, it's a combination of a lot of things.
As far as the protection goes, sometimes holding on the ball. Sometimes it seems like it was getting beat. But other times it was in Mays. What was y'all's view of how the protection issues broke down? Like, was it more mental? Was it more physical?
You know, it's a combination. I mean, sometimes T-Bob, we got beat one-on-one. You know, some guys, especially around the edge, I think we were a little bit slow in our drops. We're 1-2 and open. We wasn't kicking wide enough. We wasn't making contact and widening those defensive ends wide enough. Some of those defensive ends had some really good moves. They outworked us on the edge, which I don't like. Some of them were schemed. They were running Bear Mike in the middle, especially coming up. We were going in to score. We were in a hurry up. We're in Bear Mike up the middle.
I know.
Have the right protection on, and it got a sack, and it cost us. So it was a combination of a lot of things.
So if there was a lot of good as well, though, and I want to talk about a couple guys. How about what you saw out of Jeray Jenkins, a name that, you know, probably on us we kind of ignored throughout the entire offseason?
You know, I was really surprised with, not surprised, but really pleased with Jeray Jenkins' performance because of the way he practiced all fall camp. He seems like he catches every ball. He's a great young man, right there from Gina. I thought he played very well. I mean, he made some key catches in the ball game for us.
And then, even though the refs would not give my guy a holding call, you got to be hyped about what you saw out of Ali Gay off the edge.
What is holding? Sheesh. My goodness.
I mean, you get him around the neck, it doesn't matter. If you hold your hands up, I don't know. We didn't parse that. What did you think about your pass rusher, Coach? I know that had to make you feel good.
Outstanding, really. And I thought he had a dominant game. I thought he beat that tackle one-on-one when we had him outside on the edge. He had some great technique. He has those long arms. He affected the quarterback. He played the run game very well, had some batted balls. I think he's having an outstanding year for us.
We talked about your running back room all offseason, and you've got talent dripping out of that room. One thing that surprised me on Saturday was to see Emery, to see Four running between the tackles. Is there a concerted effort to maybe work him into more of the game plan this week?
Yeah, he's our he's the third down back, and he does very well for us. Obviously, Chris and Tyron are the big bulls, but I was pleased with John's short yardage running, man. It really helped us out, and he got a lot of snaps, no fumbles. I was pleased the way our guys, Kevin did a good job of us protecting the football. I think we need to run the football more, be more creative in the run game. To put less pressure on the passing game.
Yeah,
John Quav inside of the Bayou Ford chat app asked Coach O. Coach, you've been talking about manufacturing your energy within the team the past couple of weeks, the few weeks in the NFL. It seems like Seattle is the best at manufacturing their own energy. Is it something that Pete Carroll is implementing, or is this more on personnel?
I do believe we need to do a better job, and I need to do a better job. We were not fired up on Saturday as we usually are. Mississippi State was. So I addressed that to the team. I addressed that to the sideline. I addressed to everybody on the sideline. I think you're going to see a difference this week.
Yeah, obviously, Coach, we're talking to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron here and off the bench. Obviously, no one wants to lose, right? But in all things, there's opportunity to be found. Like, is this maybe what this team needed as sort of like a wake-up call? Like, look, it's a new year, the Natty's over, and you got to bring it every day.
About 3 years ago, we lost to Troy, and it wasn't good. But it ended up being the best thing that happened around here for the coaches and for the players. It was a wake-up call. And hopefully this is a wake-up call for all of us. We get back to the fundamentals, get back to playing at the LSU Standard Performance, because that was not a LSU Standard Performance football team that night on last Saturday. So hopefully it's a wake-up call for us, and hopefully it can turn the mindset of our coaches and our team around, that we got to fight and scratch. We got to respect our opponent every game and be ready to play LSU Standard Performance.
It looked like your left tackle, Dare Rosenthal, was shaken up in the fourth quarter. Is he good to go this week?
He's questionable right now. I don't know. He's not going to practice today. We'll see him towards the end of the week.
What about Vanderbilt, Coach? What do you make of the Commodores?
Well, they played good defense. Coach Mason did a good job. Y'all remember Kenichi's here. He's coaching the defensive line. I thought his defensive line played very well against Texas A&M, only holding them to 17 points. And again, this is going to be a big road game for us. This is going to be big for LSU, fixing LSU, and it's all about the Tigers playing at their best that they can, regardless of our opponent.
It is Competition Tuesday on the Ponderosa. LSU head coach Ed Orgeron with us every week. We appreciate it, Coach.
All right, man. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. There he is, Coach O, checking in this morning. As a couple of bits of news coming out there, MCL surgery over the past 10 days for Jay Ward.
So I really want to highlight that because we've kind of known that, but that's the stuff that you can't really go public with, right? It's not our place to do so. But I have been really feeling for Jay Ward since Saturday because whatever, I approach most things from the player's perspective, right? But I've been through that exact situation where you're hurt and you technically can play, but ideally you don't have to play because you're hurt. So
doesn't that make a lot of sense now?
Yes.
After watching him running a
versus
step behind.
what we had been hearing about Ward.
Sure.
And that. So I guess it just sucks when you're in that position as a player because you are out there putting it all on the line for the team, right? You know that you're playing hurt. Mine was also a torn MCL. And you look like you're playing terrible. And you look like you're playing terrible, but really you're kind of going above and beyond for the squad, exposing yourself to risk for the team, but nobody knows that. So I'm glad that they did put that out there because Jay Ward deserves a little cushion and a little respect and some time to improve. And look, because whatever. Like I said, I remember a Florida game where I had a torn MCL, wasn't supposed to play. PJ gets hurt, you have to go play the game, and I'm playing one leg, getting tossed around, and it was just a terrible feeling.
And Dare Rosenthal. You're going to have to dig into your depth on offensive line. That's a position going into the year that you knew you were limited and light at, and something that they wanted to make sure that they could try to stay healthy as long as possible. And after week one, Rosenthal looking for a possible backup, as Coach O gives a little insight there that he's not going to practice today. It's something that they're going to monitor this week, and looks like it's probably going to be a game-time decision on a left tackle. I think you're looking at Cam Wire. I think that you're looking at Marcus Dumerville. I think Xavier Hill's name has come up a little bit.
You're calling up Tristan Lee and being like, hey, Tristan, look, man, you come here. There's a path to the field.
Make that commitment public, man. Close that hour one next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here on Off the Bench by Coy's Diesel. Get in touch with Coy, our friend over at Coy's Diesel. If you drive a light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck, remember Coy and his crew want to service you today. You can do that by logging online to coysdiesel.com. You can schedule a service call there. You can schedule a sales appointment with Coy's Diesel, or if you need 24-hour roadside assistance. That's right. If you're broken down on the side of the road in a light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck and you need to get to the shop on Airline Highway in Gonzales over at Coy's Diesel, well, Coy's Diesel has a 24-hour tow truck. They can move there for you. Online, coysdiesel.com.
Coysdiesel.com, coysdiesel.com. Go there for all of your, what do you think you should go there for? Diesel, vehicle, needs. It's right there in the name, guys. So it doesn't matter what year, make, model you have. You want to shop by part, you need financing, 24/7 emergency roadside assistance if you break down. They're the best. Coysdiesel.com, coysdiesel.com.
Tune in Thursday night as we kick off Week 4 when the New York Jets host the Denver Broncos. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer comes in for an hour. We'll also be joined by Chris Doring of the SEC Network and SiriusXM Radio to break down the weekend in the SEC. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Musso is explaining to the host during the break how the Major League Baseball playoffs are working. Inevitably, they start today. Houston takes on Minnesota on ABC. Wow.
Yeah.
ESPN putting it on the big stick. That's going to be a 1 o'clock first pitch between the Astros and the Twins.
Oh, so that's the playoffs?
Yeah.
Today?
Is it a play-in?
No, not necessarily. It's the best of three wild card.
Okay.
Best of three wild card.
Wow.
There's going to be some upsets, man, in a 3-game series.
Well, I mean, look, if it's a 3-game series, you only have to have 2 good starting pitchers. And, I mean, that's a series right there. I mean, what are you going to do?
Who do you like in Houston, Minnesota today?
Look, credit the Astros for, despite having a losing record, finding a way into the playoffs. But let's be painfully clear. It's just not their year. The Twins, I know they struggled in the middle of season. I feel like they kind of gotten it together here lately. I have questions about their bullpen. But like I said, you got 2 frontline guys that you love. And
All right, that's enough. That's enough. What if this is the year that the Astros
Was any
win
of that accurate, Musa?
What if this is the year that the Astros
Do
win
the
it?
Astros have a losing record?
They do.
Okay, so I nailed that.
29-31.
Do the Twins have a good bullpen? I said I have concerns about it.
I'm not actually sure about that.
Okay.
Right,
Do they have 2 good frontline pitchers?
Just stump
They have Kenta Maeda.
Yeah. Is that 2 guys or 1 guy?
That's 1 guy.
Okay. Do we have a second guy?
1 guy.
So either way, the baseball
No, you
playoffs
said
start
Kent
today,
and
1 o'clock.
Maeda. You said Kenta Maeda.
Thursday, we'll talk to Chad Durbin about it. We'll talk to Derek Stingley Sr. coming up here in 9 minutes. We'll also answer your mailbag questions at 8:15 this morning. So if you want to get involved, remember, hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll answer the questions coming up 8:15. We'll talk New Orleans Saints with Nick Underhill. That's compliments of former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette, as we will talk to Underhill from New Orleans.football at 8:30 this morning.
I know we're still kind of lingering a bit in the still in the Mississippi State aftermath here, but this is the turn the page day, right? The team's already turned the page, but for the fans and us here, like we'll talk to Coach Sting and we'll get that situation updated, and then it's time to start looking forward. And instead of we've identified the problems, then it's time to identify and come up with plans as to how you fix them, what you most want to see fixed. And you were starting to see that, like Coach O said. I think early on in that game, they were trying to do it like they did last year in terms of throwing the ball from a play calling standpoint. I think you need to have more of a running game. I just think it's what this offense and this quarterback's going to require. I mean, look at the second half, right?
Yeah.
Second half, you started to run the ball a bit better. You had a nice rhythm going in that third quarter into the beginning of the fourth, and then it kind of fell apart again. But yeah, so we'll start talking about solutions and everything else. But here's the deal, is that, again, if we're using the past as an indicator of future events, you should feel very confident about this coaching staff and its ability to come back from adversity and to come back from low moments. As Coach O just referenced, that Troy game. And I think probably people have life experiences like this too, right? I've always said this about my own personal rock bottom moment, which was when I was in college, being an idiot and getting arrested for a DWI at the time. It was terrible. It was very embarrassing. It was a long process, but through that process, I learned a ton, and it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me because it made me stop being such a slappy and start to kind of get it together a little more, as I guess together as this is, right? But you gotta see. So think about how bad it was.
So it's layered, right?
If this is where I am now, think about how bad it was, right? Okay, and so, but the point is, that was something that at the time felt really negative, but it ended up having the best impact, like almost over anything else in my life. That Troy game had a similar impact. Look for this negative game to hopefully have a similar impact. What I want to see is who is going to emerge as the leader in the fallout, right? Because after Troy, that was the emergence of Devin White. That's when he started to write his kind of legend. And I don't think you're just going to have like a Devin White guy suddenly show up, but somebody, I mean, he talked about the sideline. There's a great question by Manufacturing Energy by John. Somebody needs to be that more vocal, energy, holding guys accountable type of voice. And that's an LSU sideline that looked pretty dead the other day, which
he
is also
acknowledged that. He acknowledged it.
Yeah, and that goes hand in hand with losing. So it is. If you're winning, you're obviously going to be like way more hyped up. But they were in that game to be as dead as they were at times. So a lot to fix. But hey, that's the fun part, man. There's, like I said yesterday, there's beauty in the struggle. I've been listening to Love Yours all day long, letting J. Cole guide me through these tough times, and there's beauty in the struggle, and we're going to identify all that beauty.
Was the lowest point of your barrel in the EBR holding cell with the full leg cast?
Yes, absolutely. The Sloppy Joes weren't bad, but outside of that, outside of Sloppy Joes, it was probably that. I was probably crying in the cop car. I was probably drunkenly thinking about how many push-ups I was going to do. The embarrassment of then having someone to have to come bail you out. I didn't end up doing it. I didn't do any push-ups.
You just have to run?
What, like afterwards as punishment?
Yeah, like what was the punishment for that from the team?
I had a few months kind of away for like a month or two or something. I can't remember exactly, away from the team where I was like working out on my own and some physical stuff. But yeah, look, it was just that come to Jesus moment, right? You got to stop being such a slappy. And obviously that was for me personally in my life. For just like football, this is a come to Jesus moment. For the coaching staff, the lack of in-game adjustments, all that stuff, like it should not happen again.
All right, LSU football, we're on our way to bail you out of jail. Get it right, week 2, Vanderbilt, 6:30 kickoff in Nashville.
Hey, that's like the sheriff showing up. You got Vanderbilt, that's like the sheriff showing up, getting you out. You don't got to stay through the weekend. That's not bad.
Here's your get out of jail free card, boys. Go beat the Doors.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Secure Shredding and Recycling. Remember, online, SecureShreddingAndRecycling.com. Get in touch with Gaines Garrett this morning if you're looking for document destruction specialists. Secure Shredding and Recycling, that's who they are. They are a premier provider of document destruction services for individuals, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies. They're online, SecureShreddingAndRecycling.com. Remember, mobile shredding, they got up to 10 trucks on the road every single day offering mobile shredding, drop-off shredding, all online, SecureShreddingAndRecycling.com.
SecureShreddingRecycling.com, SecureShreddingAndRecycling.com, your document destruction experts, okay? Ultimately, that is a services business. Yes, it benefits and serves the environment. More importantly, it serves their customers, right? So whether you need digital destruction, physical destruction of your hard drives, like whatever, they got your back. They can do it on site, bring it back to their site. They have trucks there. They have drop-off points. Go to SecureShreddingRecycling.com today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who, without being asked, shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community? We believe that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust.
So, if you know someone that sounds like what Jordy was just describing, nominate them to be your good citizen, and they'll have a chance to win $500 from Citizens Bank and Trust. Plus, we'll mention him right here on the show. So go to citizensbankandtrust.com for more details and nominate your good citizen.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by...
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, September 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 75. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Brought to you by Carriages. Still to come, Derek Stingley Sr. joins the show next. Nick Underhill is talking Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. And Joshua Sneed of SEC Shorts will be here at 9:30. Also, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them or ask them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Use the hashtag OTB mailbag and we'll get them answered at 8:15. Follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Go ahead and watch us live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel and subscribe while you're there. The Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channel. Set your notifications. New content posted there daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 off and added off the bench. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Online at 1045ESPN.com. We are on your smart speakers every single morning. We're also on YouTube. Search the 1045 ESPN station. Also hit us on Off the Bench on OTB's YouTube. Make sure and subscribe and get notified there for all of the content that goes up. We spoke to Ed Ogeron 30 minutes ago. He's here every Tuesday with us on Off the Bench. We also talk to Nick Underhill every Tuesday. Conversation brought to you by former LSU Tiger, current attorney Chris Perrette, as we talk New Orleans Saints with Underhill in 30 minutes. Also every Tuesday is Derek Stingley Sr., former baseball, football player, now one of the top defensive back tutors in our area, and his son, Derek Stingley Jr., is widely considered to be the top cornerback in college football, maybe the best defensive player in college football, and he was the centerpiece of news here on the opening weekend of SEC football, as on Friday night, a scary phone call, as I can imagine a scary phone call, forget the football ramifications, just from a parent that Derek was heading to the hospital on Friday night with a medical ailment, as LSU called it, which ruled him out of the game on Saturday. Here to update the status of Derek and give us what's happening around LSU football and with Stingley is Derek Stingley Sr. Brought to you by City Cafe. Remember City Cafe, O'Neal and George O'Neal were good friends. Meet Coach, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing okay. I can imagine as we set up that this weekend was very scary for you and your family. As much as you can tell us in the public, can you take us through what Friday night was like for you and the Stingleys?
It was a rough night, but bottom line was Derek had a reaction to something that caused him to have to go to the hospital. And when we got there, they were just running some tests on him, make sure that they were ruling out everything. And before we knew it, he was fine. He was actually ready to go right before the game started. They started doing the discharge papers to get him out of the hospital. So it was scary, but it wasn't as bad as we thought it was when we first got the call and all that. But he's good to go. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to take it easy with him this week. But I'm pretty sure he may wind up playing as well. So, it's one of those moments where me personally, I would hate to relive or go through it again. but he's good. He's good. He's healthy. He's ready to go.
It is very obvious to the listeners how close you are with your son. I know you personally and understand the relationship you have with Junior. I can still hear it in your voice this morning in speaking to you. Can you take me to getting that phone call on Friday night and just what that was like for you? And it had to seem like a dream, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, it was something that I naturally wasn't ready for, of course. Couldn't believe that I had to rush out to go, be by his side because of that. And scary, the drive over was scary, just praying and crying and, just making sure that I get to him in time, and that he would be okay. And I'm just glad that everything worked out for the best.
How is he now? What is his state of mind?
No, he's good. He's himself. He's back to normal. He was back to normal before the game started. When we were watching the game, he was, like I said, he was ready to walk out of the hospital right before the game started. Right. But naturally, we had to wait for the discharge papers.
There was never a possibility of him playing, was there?
No.
So and Coach Singh, thanks for coming on this morning, man. And I can't really fathom like going to this and then now having to talk about it. So, I mean, I want to talk about the game. I hope that's okay. I know that it feels a bit odd, just in whatever in relation to everything else that has gone on.
Real quick though, Coach, is he medically cleared to begin practice?
Yeah, he has no restrictions. He's good.
Okay,
he's good to go.
All right, that's that sounds like great news. So about Saturday's game, though, you mentioned you kind of got to watch it with him. What was the what was y'all's takeaway? I mean, obviously a lot of eyeballs on both the scheme and the execution of the scheme defensively from LSU.
Well, naturally, we had some guys who was out there that probably wouldn't have been out there.
Mm-hmm.
With number one, Darren Evans. He's brand new, although. He showed better in practice that, we could believe in him if he's out there on the field. But, the SEC, that's a big stage. You got to be ready. You just never know how you respond once you're out there. And then with Jay Ward, Jay wasn't going to even dress, and they just dressed him out because. And now he's playing hurt. Yeah. And then you have Cordell Flott, whom he practiced at nickel all week, and then they had to move him in the corner. So now that's a different look. You had Jay, who didn't practice at all, and move him to the nickel, and it was just those guys not really being prepared as much, and they're just basically going off of technique, or if we're in man coverage, I got to do this and hope I can win out on my rep. And we're behind because now you're kind of late with some of the checks. You're kind of not seeing what's happening because you didn't practice. You didn't know that they like to run these over routes or these pick routes and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was tough, and it was, unfortunately, wasn't a good look for the secondary. But the only good thing about it is that it's on film.
Yeah.
You can coach it, you can learn from it, and hopefully, they just prepare a little bit better for the what if, and I mean, lesson learned. But, there was some good out of it. We watched the game. It wasn't like it was a complete, just trash of the defensive backs. I mean, you up until the second and third quarter, the middle of the second quarter, they were playing good football.
Yeah, it was rolling early on, man.
Yeah, you gave up a touchdown by Darren Evans, and if Darren isn't out there, Derek doesn't give that up. You gave up a touchdown by Elias Ricks, and he just tried to make a play and undercut it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the scores were still, it wasn't a big lead or anything like that. So, there's some good from it, but unfortunately, when you look at the 600 yards, it just looks bad, and you can't get past that. But just like the Ole Miss game last year with the rushing yards, you just got to really get to practice and work your technique and make sure that something like that never happens again.
Yeah, I mean, right. Look, man, you gotta, you gotta go through the problems to know what to fix, right? Like you gotta actually see it, and that's a great part about football. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. All those old cliches, you now can clearly see it. Now you have to fix it. For you're a defensive coach, and so I want to pick your brain about this, just in terms of the type of coverage that LSU was playing, and not even just like man versus zone, but I mean in the style of man or the style of cover one, cover two man they were playing. I guess, I mean, do you think that you maybe, like, do you have a quarters coverage or something that you could have busted out there, or some sort of like linebacker kind of staying in specifically for those, to carry those crossing routes? Like what do you think scheme wise you maybe could have done to adjust a bit to that Mississippi State attack better?
I mean, they could have done some things by keeping everything underneath them, but the linebackers, they were getting sucked in, so those crossing routes was going to be deadly.
Yeah.
Even if we were been in quarters or three, either one, naturally it would have took away the big play, but you still would have had a big game. So it's almost like you either take this with man and hope that your guys can cover this, or you play zone and then they just continue to move the ball down the field and they just get closer and closer to the end zone. So, I mean, I think Bo went into the deal knowing that Derek was going to be out there and you can play a lot of man and get through this first game or whatever, and hope that they don't have any big plays. But if you don't practice it all week, you really can't just throw it out there.
That's fair.
So that's I think they were just handcuffed for a moment. I mean, but they did play some zone. There was some zone that was being played.
Yeah, and to be fair to the staff, like it was zone on the 3rd and 20. They got completed where it looked like Baskerville almost had it. So yeah, it was just a rough night. It was a rough night.
Yeah.
Derek Stingley Sr. joining us here, as he's with us every week. City Cafe, remember, brings us this conversation on the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill. They've got boiled shrimp daily over there at City Cafe. Stop in and see them for lunch. Coach, was Friday night new? Was that a reaction to something that he has had an allergy from before, or was that something that you guys learned as a family?
No, this is something brand new that he's never had any reaction to anything like that ever in life. So, yeah. So we're just glad that that's behind us and we don't have to deal with it no more. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Opening of high school football season on Friday night. Is there any? I got to imagine this week's different in coaching.
Yeah. We're opening up against Parkview at home, so it's going to be a good one for us.
Coach, always, I know.
Thank you so much.
Right
Coach.
Now, yes, this was a tough conversation that you volunteer for every week, and you don't have to do this. We appreciate you being here, just like you are every Tuesday morning after a rough weekend for your family. But thank God that everything is pointed in the right direction, and we will continue to pray for Junior as he gets back right.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Always. There is Coach Stingley checking in this morning on this Tuesday. Your mailbag questions next.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert.
Brought to you
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans,
False start.
Alexandria.
5 yards. 10 more seconds added to the live read. Go. No?
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota. Remember, online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You can find them on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. They've got great selections for you over there, whether it's brand new cars, pre-owned and certified vehicles and models. If you want to stop in and see them today, you want to rent a car, lease a car, buy a car, you can do all that at All-Star Toyota. If you're looking for a hybrid model, jump into a hybrid, Camry, Corolla, all online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. I got that new Sienna. We rollin'. My wife's actually driving back from Atlanta right now with the family in the Sienna. The girls love it. They've got so much room. It's so easy to navigate. I mean, I'm telling y'all, the cruise control just controls itself now. Like, it just does the speed in front of you. It's awesome, man. The robots are here on All-Star Toyota. Go All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com today.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Do you know someone who...
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davies stops by for his weekly chat to talk LSU. Larry Holder talks some Saints with us, and Fines Walk talks beer. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Mailbag questions coming up here in a couple of minutes on Off the Bench. Still an opportunity to get them in. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. We're going to talk New Orleans Saints with Nick Underhill. Remember, Underhill's conversation brought to you by the former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. I'm paying attention to Carol Baskin.
Being kicked out of...
she's knocked off Dancing with the Stars.
What does it mean? She got voted off, right? I don't know, dude.
Me either.
My mom likes Dancing with the Stars.
OTB Mailbag, hashtag OTB Mailbag to get in your questions here for the latest edition of Mailbag every Tuesday. Here it is.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
They'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
OTB Mailbag. Is it okay to make a pass at a lady at the gym in the middle of her workout and show off by putting a ton of weight on the bench and grunting really loud? Danny?
Danny? Yeah, Danny, what do you think?
Now, I've never been a really grunter person when it comes to weights. But
kind of buried the lead there,
really
Dan.
obnoxious.
What about making a pass at a woman while in the gym working out? Or making a pass at anybody. Like, it could go either way.
Making it like hitting on them.
Have you ever heard of a girl at the gym?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of doing it though.
I feel like
It's
I would
a
say
bold move.
I would say it's out of bounds. When
Yeah.
I'm working out, I'm not trying to be
No,
dealing with any of that.
I haven't when I did it, like I wasn't like too obnoxious with it. Like
Danny's like, oh, you need me to grab that weight for you? And he just kind of like
That would probably
squeezes his
that would
bicep
probably-
as he's picking it up.
Flexes while he picks it up.
It would probably be more acceptable, like in the cardio section, like on a treadmill or a bike, than it would be like in the middle of the weight room,
Oh,
right?
see, dude, I might be the opposite direction because I'm doing
Yeah, I'm
cardio.
kinda-
I'm dying, dude. I'm like sweating. I'm breathing hard. I'm like, do not talk to me
I just
right
think
now.
you shouldn't do it at all.
Not that I'm getting hit on at the gym.
If there was a vote, yes or no, I would say no.
I would say no.
Don't
No,
do it.
don't do it.
Definitely the guy grunting ain't getting the chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
But-
the dude putting all
but-
the weight on, grunting and look at me guy, he ain't the
Meathead.
one. He ain't the one.
Maybe he's committed to the lift. If you're going super heavy, you got to grunt. I mean, it's literally proven. It's how you do the technique. If you want to bench
Why
when you
do the
explode,
super heavy lift in
Yeah,
in
no,
the
I don't
gym?
know. I don't
You
know.
what
I mean,
mean?
yeah.
Just throw your 200 on there and rep them out,
I
bro.
don't lift weights anymore. So yeah, I
can
get
tell.
you. Yeah, I still out bench you easy mode. Good
You
throw up
better.
I go throw up 15 on 225. Zero
You
questions
got
asked right now.
225 on me, bro. How much you weigh these days?
Probably like 290.
Yeah, you got 120 pounds on me.
Why-
Next question.
Why would the Pelicans want yet another retread coach that barely got a Kawhi Leonard, Paul George team out of the first round and has a history of the teams that constantly fight?
Is that a joke?
That's what
I mean,
I
like,
thought.
first off, managing personalities in the NBA, those guys don't get paid enough. Coaches, the good ones, the high-end coaches, the things that they got to put up with in managing those personalities, those guys are divas. I mean, they are multi-millionaire divas for the most part. And Doc Rivers, to me, has established a reputation as a guy who can work within a locker room and has respect for players, specifically younger ones. And I think that you could make that argument that he's missed out on championships both in Boston and in LA. But one thing that you can argue is that he's always had a great relationship with his young players. Glenn Davis, Big Baby, is the one that told me that more than anybody.
Yeah.
And Davis at the time was, he's still to a degree is. I mean, he's a very emotional guy. You've got to very much babysit as much as you coach him. And Doc was able to be able to relate to Big Baby, to Glenn Davis, as much as anybody. And to me, that always stuck with me. And then you see the product on the floor, right? I mean, there's only about 4 or 5 guys in that league that can really coach it at a high level. I think Nick Nurse is fantastic.
He's great.
With Toronto. I think Budenholzer in Milwaukee, he got a bad rap in the playoffs. He didn't change his style in the playoffs, but all in all, he's a really good coach. Popovich obviously is a high-end guy, and I think Doc Rivers is in that discussion as far as NBA coaches that year in, year out can get you to contention. And at that point, really, what else do we want? I mean, if you don't have LeBron is making he's making Jason Kidd and what's his name in Indiana, the old guy, the Pacers now coaching the Lakers.
Frank Vogel.
I mean, Frank
Frank
Vogel's making
Vogel.
Frank Vogel a championship coach.
I always forget that Frank Vogel's
So
coaching the Lakers.
does Frank Vogel.
So I mean, if I am the Pelicans, David Griffin, if I am Miss Benson, I am hiring Doc Rivers last night because of the youth that I have on my roster and the experience he has in that league. Do you expect them to win a championship in the next 4 years, 3 years? I mean, like realistically,
the Pelicans?
Win a championship?
No.
Yes. No, you don't.
No.
Right?
Oh no.
But you,
no.
but you want them to get on the path right
I
now.
want
Yes.
them to be a consistent playoff team.
First,
Go hire
and
Doc
then-
Rivers.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with
I
that.
Go
I
hire
agree
Doc
with that.
Rivers.
I agree with that. He put you down the path.
OTB mailbag, is A&M overrated? Had a bad game? Or is Vandy better than everyone thought? Well, Vandy's not better than everybody thought.
I didn't really watch that game. That was during the LSU game,
look,
right? So
they
I was
won
not
by 4.
watching. No, I know that, but I'm saying I can't really evaluate either team.
A&M had a lot of opt-outs, but I'm definitely on the A&M's overrated train. Everyone was so jacked about them because of their schedule. Well, to me, that doesn't make you a good team. That makes you a team that took advantage of an easy schedule.
Looking to hide.
And you're going to eventually get exposed. It's kind of like what happens to Notre Dame every time they make the playoff.
In Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma. And what would happen to the Pac-12 if they ever made the playoff?
Oklahoma just got snuffed out earlier this year.
Yeah, they just decided to not participate.
Cleveland.
So A&M's overrated for me.
It's interesting because Brandon Walker came on here yesterday and said the opposite, right? He still thinks that A&M's going to be really beast.
Kellen Mond threw for 189 and a touchdown against Vanderbilt.
The one thing that I feel good about is that Vanderbilt's not that good. I will say that. I don't believe Vanderbilt is that good. Like, maybe they're better than you thought, but you should smoke them on Saturday.
I lost my spot. Here we go. What led to every radio host on 104.5 going all in to say 8-2, 9-1 for LSU? Was it just the preseason hype or something specific y'all saw leading into the season?
You might want to check the tape there. I mean, I guess I've floated between 7-3 and 8-2. I've never gotten to 9-1. I said if everything went right and the defense was incredible, you could maybe get to 9-1. I said I saw 6 guaranteed wins on this schedule and then 4 tough games. If you 2-2 them, you go 8-2. If you 1-3 them, you go 7-3. That has now changed to where you have 5 what I would call wins left in this schedule. You still have the 4 question mark games. Now if you 2-2 them, you go 7-3. If you 1-3 them, you go 6-4. So I still feel like 6-4 is realistic now. I bumped my win expectation down. I take it back. I was higher after the Shelvin Chase opt-outs. I went from 8-2 to 7-3. Now I'm down to 6-4. If you still pull off 7-3, it's a solid season.
Yeah, I think that the argument was LSU's top 22. There was a real belief that LSU's 22 starters were as good as anybody in the league. You had some uncertainty about the depth, but after watching them in week 1, I think there are much more question marks than we believed going into the season. So I'm with T. I think 6-4, 7-3 make a lot of sense.
Can we get Bobby Hebert on the companion show?
That's a good idea.
That would be a great idea.
I hope so. I doubt it, but I hope so.
Wow, that would be a great idea.
Will the Cadaver Dogs find Carol Baskin's husband's remains at his lake house? They sniffed yesterday.
Is that true?
I have no idea.
Baskin's husband's in Puerto Rico, dude. He's chilling.
The first one?
Yeah, he's chilling.
Nah, bro, he's sliced up.
Okay.
Carol ain't getting caught.
I don't even understand.
A body
Whatever.
that goes through a cat's intestinal tract you'll never find on the other side.
Anyway, more excited for expanded Freds or expanded house with new rooftop attic?
You will not catch me in either.
I have
so
not been to
neither one.
Tigerland in like 2 years.
I mean, if I'm in that demographic, I think Fred's is the obvious
is the
choice
answer.
here.
I would
But
say
I have
so.
never experienced the house, so I'm not the right one to answer
Research?
the
You gonna do a little research?
Yeah.
A little TV research.
You're not missing
Danny,
out.
Danny, grab a camera.
Oh, Danny says you're not missing out. So you're on Fred's, Danny?
Yeah.
Okay.
$2.5 million upgrade to a college bar. I mean, what could you really
Bruh.
do, man?
Bruh.
I mean, there's got to be some type
mega
of slide.
I finally hit up that Chimes rooftop. That place is cool.
It is pretty cool. I love the Chimes.
Did you hear building number 5 is adding a rooftop?
Hey,
Ooh, I didn't know
rooftop's a
that.
new thing.
Hey, man, look. Especially like right now, this is the weather to go to the
Amen.
rooftops.
Amen.
Let's see. What's Danny's gum of the week?
I always get something tropical, so something like mango or pineapple.
Okay. I used to love that zebra stripe gum back in the day with the tattoos that you could put on your
Bazooka?
arm. No, Bazooka came with the little comics. That was your classic bubble gum that came with little comics.
Will you watch the debate tonight?
No.
I'm watching baseball. Leave me alone.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm more. I was actually kind of more. I thought it was more appealing to watch the mayor debate.
They're having a debate tonight too.
Yeah, I think that's
You're like, screw that word.
Yeah, screw that word. I mean, bounce out of the
Mayoral, I guess. It sounds weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that is today. Which just for the laughter of it.
Interesting.
The comic relief.
Has Foreman or Smith come out with any comments since the visit this weekend?
Everybody is so insecure because you lost that like all the recruiting is going to die. It might take a hit, but ultimately recruits are not making too many decisions based off of one game.
Well,
Or wins
definitely
and losses.
not the high end guys. The high end guys are not making their decision off the outcome of the game. In fact, I think that gives an opening for a really good recruiting pitch when you talk about the high end guys. I mean, Pelini, Ogeron, Bill Johnson were probably telling Corey Foreman and Mason Smith, guys, you wouldn't have come off the field today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Last one. What would Danny Etling's stat line look like in this offense?
Average. Below average.
I probably pretty similar to I think what you saw to Miles the other day.
Really?
In his offense. You don't think?
303 touchdowns?
I mean, I don't think he showed the proclivity for the deep ball like Miles had, so maybe not. But I do think his decision maker was a bit quicker at times. So like
that's probably true.
You put him in a throwing offense. I think he does similar things to what you saw Saturday.
Danny hung 300 a couple times on A&M.
So I was wondering that. Did he? I was wondering if he had 300-yard games.
I know he had at least one against A&M, but I mean, who didn't? Yeah. That's OTB mailbag.
All right, Nick Underhill talking New Orleans Saints. Compliments of former LSU Tiger, current attorney Chris Barrett. Next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Central Plumbing Company online, centralplumbing.org. Wow, look at the 7-day forecast. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Residential commercial plumbing services. They've been doing it since the mid-'70s. They can help you out today online at centralplumbing.org. Remember, if you need a full-service generator, if you need a full home generator, they can sell and install you that this morning. Online, 925-8552. That's the phone number. Online at centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Any plumbing issues that you have, you don't even need to think twice. Central Plumbing's seen it all over 40 years. They can fix it all. And when you look at how they've grown over 40 years, the only way you experience that growth is if your customers are consistently satisfied, right? If you do things the right way. And with flat rate pricing, licensed, bond, insured, a great warranty for peace of mind, I would say they do things the right way. So a drain that won't drain, simple, complex, it doesn't matter. Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it's clearance time, smart customers rush to Richards Honda because all your favorite Honda models are at fantastic prices. And with our fanatical customer care, it's no wonder people call Richards Honda the smart choice.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Do you know the proper way to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your office? We do. We're Jani-King, a leader in the cleaning industry for over 30 years, and we've developed comprehensive programs to address proper cleaning and disinfection. We have experience in applying disinfecting programs in hospitals, office buildings, schools, and other venues. Now we're ready to help and able to assist customers that need disinfecting services.
Jani-King, the king of clean.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Your Honda needs some TLC, and Richards Honda is the smart place to get it. With oil changes at just $39. And with so many service bays, you'll be in and out super fast. Schedule your appointment today at richardshonda.com.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. We're live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street from 6 to 8 p.m. Come eat some steaks with us and say hello or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, remember the podcast here on Off the Bench is brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Stop in and check out all of the sound. We talked to Ed Ogeron at 7:30 this morning, Derek Steenley Sr. at 8 a.m., and now we get our Saints coverage. Compliments of Nick Underhill from New Orleans.football, which this conversation every week is brought to you by former LSU Tiger and current attorney here in Baton Rouge, Chris Perrette, as KP brings us our New Orleans Saints coverage every week with Nick Underhill. Nick, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Saints 1-2 after the Sunday night loss to Green Bay. They are on the road at Detroit this week. There was a couple of positives, including Alvin Kamara again, as he was explosive. 52-yard touchdown run or a screen pass that was very much a highlight reel run. But again, for him, from scrimmage, dominating. What did you make of the back who just got all the money?
Yeah, for a little while there, I felt like he was their whole entire offense. And in the first half, it felt like the plan was get the ball to Alvin and let him break 6 tackles on the way to a touchdown. I mean, they didn't have a whole lot going, but kind of the way Green Bay was playing them, it kind of led them to taking that short stuff and going to the run. And I think early in the game, you saw the Saints exploit that really, really well. In the first quarter, they only saw one run with 7 or more guys in the box. They were playing it a little bit lighter, sitting back and, trying to get the Saints to dink and dunk. And it's a little bit weird, considering the Saints are a dink and dunk team, but, that's just kind of how Green Bay plays. And Alvin, really took advantage of that early in the game. But, I think as far as non-quarterbacks go through 3 games, I think you could probably make the argument that he's playing as well as anybody in the NFL right now. And it's funny, and I think, we kind of talked about it this offseason when the contract was leading up. If he had bet on himself and hit the market, he could have got that true $15, $16 million per season. I know his deal now averages out to that, but if you look at it through the first 4 years, there's an average of $12.5 million through the first 4 years. And then the last year, the number is so big so that Alvin and, his agent can essentially advertise that he's the second highest paid running back in the NFL, but it's really a $12.5 million deal. So, if he had taken this the whole way and played like this, that money would have been there and it would have been real money. But, it's just weird to look at it. Like right now you're watching him play and it's like, wow, he's worth more than he's being paid. And the contract, the ink is barely dry on it. But he's been outstanding so far.
Nick Underhill joining us from New Orleans.football. Make sure and subscribe. If you are looking for New Orleans Saints information, there's really only one spot, New Orleans.football. I love the podcast that is published every week. You can get that wherever you check out your podcast, New Orleans.football. There was a lot of criticism last week surrounding Drew Brees. This week, Brees throws 29 of 36, 288 yards, 3 scores, no interceptions. He was sacked 2 times. What did you make of the 40-year-old quarterback?
I thought he was a little bit better this week, and he was probably a little bit better than we made it out Tuesday morning, jumped on, and, the game was barely over. Didn't really have a chance to look at it. When you went back through the game against the Raiders, there were maybe 3 or 4 throws, and, I think 2 of them were 2 of the throws that we all probably looked at and thought, wow, like, what's going on with Drew? And one of them was a pass to Josh Hill over the middle, and if you watch that play again, Josh Hill stopped his route, didn't continue to the sideline, and there was a miscommunication there. And then there was another one on the sideline to Jared Cook. And if you look at it as Jared Cook's coming out of his break, or coming into his break, rather, he glances back at the pocket and slows down just a little bit. And it's just enough to let Jonathan Abrams get a line on it. He breaks up the pass. And if Cook had continued on, he probably would have cut off that angle, and the incompletion might still happen, but it's not as drastic looking. In this game, I thought there was still a little bit of reluctance to throw it on the field. There's a handful of plays that you go through, you can, you see they're there, but I think that's just the way Brees plays now. And, they mentioned after the game they were playing a lot of 2 safety shell. And I know that kind of, you hear, you're like, well, Patrick Mahomes, I'm watching him, and he's tearing apart 2 safety shell. But, like, Drew's not a strong-arm quarterback. And you have to be a strong-arm quarterback to go down the field against, when there's 2 safeties back there. And really, this is the way they've been playing for a lot of years. And a lot of this conversation that everybody's having about this team, it feels a little bit intellectually dishonest or intellectually misinformed, because you're not working with the actual evidence. Like 2017, Drew threw 14 passes against cover 2 that traveled 15 or more yards through the air. He connected on 5 of them. Doesn't work very well, so they go away from it even more. 2018, 3 of 5. Last year, 1 of 5. This year, 0 of 0. Yeah, there isn't that attempt yet, but if they continue on this rate, there's probably going to be 5 of them through the year. But this just isn't how they played. It isn't how they played for a while. And I think if we're going to frame the conversation about his demise and where it's coming from, it's not going to be told through the story of deep passes against two safety shell or deep passes whatsoever, because this just is not how they played. It's going to be the inaccuracies. And I think he was a little bit more accurate this week. There was a screen pass to Taysom Hill on third down that came in a little bit high. He had another pass over the middle where I thought he had happy feet, and it just didn't look in sync. But I think overall, the offense was a lot more cohesive this week. I don't know if it's, the cure-all and you leave this game and say everything's all good, but I do think if he played like this in week 1, I don't think that we'd be having these same conversations right now.
So one more on the offense before we get to defense, because I agree with everything that you just said, and it's kind of led me to the take, and I want, do you agree or not, like, because of how they've built, whether this is by design or not, because of how this offense has evolved over the last few years, you want to do all this short and intermediate stuff. Is the absence of Mike Thomas actually more impactful even than the absence of Drew Brees?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to have that conversation, but I do think that if you take Mike Thomas out, it changes the way you operate a little bit more than it does by putting Teddy Bridgewater, and you can run the offense the same way, and you're still looking at everything the same way. But I think if you take Mike out, it's, you got to go about things a lot differently, and I think it's been really, really out of sync. And I think maybe some of the players on offense aren't as good as we potentially thought they were. Emmanuel Sanders hasn't been who, I think who everybody thought he was going to be coming in. It's been a little bit slower, and it's been, frankly, a little bit surprising that he was slow to pick up the offense because he's played with such good players. Jared Cook isn't quite, he's not this superstar tight end. I think maybe he looks a little bit better with Mike Thomas out there and the coverage going his way, but when you're paying attention to him, maybe things don't look quite as good. But, it's just going back to that point about just everything being downfield. Even if you go back to, 2016, I mean, it's just crazy to me that we're looking at this and, the analysis has taken place as, oh, Drew missed this guy 25 yards down the field. Well, they got rid of Brandon Cooks because he wasn't making those throws. And Brandon Cooks, he went nuts that season and started speaking out in the media because the passes weren't going down the field.
Yeah.
And the routes that he was running, they started changing. A lot of their play concepts, if you look at them now compared to 2014, 2015, a lot of this stuff had vertical routes. And those vertical routes have added curbs to them that go over the middle of the field. They call them giant routes. And that's how they play now. They've moved away from this deep stuff forever. And again, this just is not, we're not going to look at it and be like, you know what? Drew can't throw it on the field anymore. He's finished. He hasn't thrown down the field in forever.
Yes.
It's just so annoying to hear these conversations. And he doesn't have a pass at 18 air yards. Who cares? That isn't how he plays the game, and that's not how they're going to win. The margin of error is really, really small, and they aren't playing well enough consistently to be a contender the way they're going. But they can get it on track. And again, it's going to be the inaccurate passes. Drew not being able to hit. The 7-yard out, the 17-yard out's been gone for a very long time.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Mike Thomas is not only the best receiver in the NFL, but everything you want to do is his main strength. So what's the latest on him? Right. Just real quick. How close is he? Do we have any idea?
If you were looking real close to his Instagram yesterday, he posted a video of Allen Iverson talking about overcoming adversity, and underneath it, the caption said green light, but then within about 6 minutes, the words green light were erased and the video was posted. So,
okay, well, that's one of my favorite things about modern sports, reading through players' Instagrams. All right, what about the defense, Nick? I believe, I could be a number or two off, but I believe it's 1 punt in the last 17 drives. I loved your question to Peyton after the game. You could tell that he kind of agreed with you. Why are they having so much trouble defending rollouts and play actions? What's going on with this Saints defense?
Yeah, the way the Raiders played them, I think there were a couple of moments in that game, and then you saw Green Bay take them. And one of them was the rollout. And it's crazy. If you watch the one the Raiders ran two, one at the goal line, and they scored on it. They failed to cover Waller. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson let him go. And then Green Bay ended up scoring on the same exact play, but this time Caden Ellis let the player go for a wide-open reception. So it looked like they saw that and saw how disorganized the defense was and lifted it. And then there was another play, it was so nondescript around the 50-yard line. the Raiders ran, one of those naked boots and they roll out and they got the player in the flat. And the way the Saints defended it, like everybody had their hips turned the wrong way, but Carr just held the ball way too long, throws it, and they only get a 2-yard gain. And you could tell Green Bay saw that, and they're like, oh, well, this was a mess the way they defended it. Let's take that and use it. And they ran that same play like 7 times on Sunday. And every time it was 7, 8, 9 yards. And it was just over and over and over, and the Saints couldn't make the adjustments. And this is the stuff that is shocking. Like, we talk about how this team was supposed to be one of the most talented in the NFL. Well, your talent is just completely undermined, and the continuity is completely undermined when you can't make the adjustments to these plays. And this is the stuff that we were talking about. Oh, well, this benefits the Saints. They're a veteran team. They've been together. They've played together forever. They can make these adjustments in the communication. And, you can have your switch on a rollout and not get, all out of sorts. But they're playing like a team that doesn't know what they're doing. And
yeah.
It's quite shocking to watch it, really. I mean, they should be a whole lot better. And I think a whole lot of stuff going on defense is a lot more confusing than the offense. Cam Jordan having 6 pressures through 3 games is not something you would expect to see. Trey Hendrickson should not be your most productive defensive lineman. Marshawn Lattimore, like he's not showing up unless he's playing, a guy that he has a grudge match against, which is crazy. You're watching him lose money really in real time in a year where he should be getting an extension. And
it's the same thing we talked about, locking in against the guys that aren't, the superstars. It's like the exact same thing that we thought was his main goal.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think he'll be really good this week against Kenny Golladay because he's heard of him, It's crazy that you have to look at it like that. Like they made this Lazar guy look like, the best receiver in the NFL, and he had 400 yards last year. But, there's a cover 3, and Marshawn's just not looking at him. He's double covering a guy going, up the seam instead of covering the sideline. Or, there's a cover 4 play, and he lets him go for a 48-yard gain. It's just, this is stuff that can't be happening. He needs to be more focused and locked in. Janoris Jenkins, his coverage is really good, but then he ends up having this, penalty every single game. And it's just these little things keep happening over and over. And, they can clean it up and get better. But, I think you look at it and you're like, why is this? It should not be happening like this, because the team they have, the continuity, the coaches have been there forever. They should be able to do a lot of this stuff without even talking. And, they just aren't, and it's a little bit frustrating to watch, really.
Here, Nick, last one. I got less than a minute left. Just real quick, what do you do at Taysom Hill?
I keep doing the Taysom Hill stuff with him. He gives you more to prepare for. I think it makes everything harder for the other team, and it's horrible to lose a game because of your quarterback who you don't really need to have on the field, but I still think that he's a unique guy. I think a lot of the stuff they do with him works. I just think that whenever he makes a mistake, it's so magnified because there's a predisposition for people to be against who he is and what he's paid.
There you go, Nick Underhill at neworleans.football. At Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Check out neworleans.football. Go sign up. It's awesome if you're a Saints fan. It's my favorite site to read for the Saints. Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Conversation every week with Nick Underhill, brought to you by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. We'll close that hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you by AccuTemp. Remember, over at AccuTemp, they're running a great special over there with the Tiger tune-up. We reminded you about it on Saturday. It took to it and texted in halftime 31996 for their Tiger tune-up. Your AC or heater, whichever one you prefer, with the cool air coming in. You might want to get your heater checked right now. You can check your carbon monoxide levels. You can check all the safety and electrical components around your HVAC system. That's over at AccuTemp. Remember, AccuTempBR.com is where you can find them online. Get in touch with them and ask them about the Tiger tune-up. Text in the number to halftime this week, 31996, AccuTempBR.com.
AccuTempBR.com. Trust me when I say it is an experience working with them, one that you'll find very enjoyable, and you'll see why you want them working on your house forever. Go to AccuTempBR.com today.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Annie, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Handy, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer comes in for an hour. We'll also be joined by Chris Doring of the SEC Network and SiriusXM Radio to break down the weekend in the SEC. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Dumbest thing the NFL does is
Copyright
protect
their
their.
footage.
Well, like they don't understand, and maybe they don't need this because they're the top dog, and it's tough to get the top dog to see things like this. But like one of the best things that the NBA has done, because I mean the NFL's not making, like it's not costing them money for us to
Protection.
show that here, right? The NBA understands that, and they're like, wait, all this stuff on social media is just advertising for us. It's just people talking about the game and putting it out there, and so they just allow free reign. I hope that one day the NFL will understand the internet and come around to it, but I'm starting to lose hope day by day.
Shout out to Citizens Bank and Trust, Jim Ferguson and the crew over there. They're about to start the remodel of the Jefferson Highway, the Bocage location.
Jimmy
over
P.
at Citizens Bank and Trust, but they are always handing us away good swag to give away on whiskey and wine. Here is a cooler that we're going to hand away to a Free Beer Friday winner here on Off the Bench. Whiskey and wine coming to you every week from Don Juan Cigar Bar. Was devastated to learn the kickoff time of the Missouri game for whiskey and wine. 8 o'clock kickoff for LSU Mizzou. which puts us at about what
So
time's
our
pregame
post-game,
start?
our post-game show doesn't even start till your
90
post-game
minutes
show
after.
ends.
I mean,
So think about that, T-Bob. So
I mean,
like
do
for-
you? I mean, from a programming standpoint, do you even do that?
I'm sure we will.
You got to do it to
We'll have
clear
the-
the inventory.
We'll have those conversations, but maybe you make it like an hour, right, instead of
Sheesh.
2, and you just knock
That's
out
gonna
all
be
the
a-
inventory.
That's gonna be like a 3 a.m. night.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Look, man, the
Well, I've
days
already
are
started
long,
thinking
but
about what it does. The Monday's going to be terrible. I'm just telling you. That Monday, I'll be checked out.
All my Mondays are terrible. It doesn't really
You know what I
matter.
mean?
No, man, I don't think it's that. I kind of like it. I don't know. I mean, these marathon days, it's 10 days, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's 10 days.
I don't mind it.
We get it up
You are
for
right.
get it up for
You
10
are right.
days.
You're right. You're right.
Get some Blue Chew, whatever you need. You'll be good to go.
Turn
It's
40
10
next week,
days.
T.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Even better. I think you get it for free on your 40th. I think they
Those things like
guarantee.
Tic Tacs.
But yeah, no, look, man. I mean, I just, yeah, I kind of like it because it is. I just to constantly try to put myself in the mindset that I was when I heard that the Big Ten was canceling, and I was so depressed and panicked and thought that everything was crumbling around me. And to the fact that we're getting to sit in here and I got to watch Oklahoma lose while we were chilling in here. We got to watch LSU lose, but whatever. It was a fun time. We watched the entire day. So yeah, 10 hours every Saturday. Companion show was fun. For all like the couple hundred people that stopped by and hung out with us, Companion show was awesome. So make sure you check that out again this
Yeah,
Saturday.
they did good numbers.
Yeah, and it's only going to do better from here on out. We'll have more guests, more shenanigans. The take board is going to continue to evolve.
There you heard it, T-Bob, Nega Tiger. Tune in for the companion show.
Wait, what? How?
Off
Said
the
you turned in and
bench
watched
with
the Wolves?
Kalana and T-Bob.
Well,
I'm just kidding, bro. I'm messing with you. Easy. Osher Sports Medicine Program. Remember, over at Osher, they got 3 locations: New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Covington. All of their facilities, state of the art. If you're an athlete, whether it is a high-level athlete, like a professional athlete, somewhere in between, like a weekend warrior, get in touch with Osher Sports Medicine so they can get you back in the game, on the court, on the floor, as quickly and as safely as possible. All 3 locations today: Clearview Parkway out in New Orleans, Baton Rouge over here at the Grove Boulevard, and Covington over at Ochsner Boulevard. Learn more information online at ochsner.org.
Ochsner.org. Ochsner.org. Look, man, if you have to have surgery, there's no better facilities. Baton Rouge and North Shore, New Orleans, they got you covered. I've mentioned in the past, antimicrobial paint on the walls to protect against infection, copper-infused blankets and services to kill germs. They do it all. But check out Ochsner Performance Training as well. You want to get bigger, stronger, faster? Ochsner's the answer. Go to ochsner.org today.
Hi, this is Chance Inman, President and Chief Operating Officer for Janney King Gulf Coast. Here are some ways to protect yourself and those around you from the coronavirus. Wash your hands often and thoroughly. Cover coughs and sneezes with your elbow. Disinfect high-touch surfaces regularly. Use non-contact methods for greeting others. And avoid touching your face. Following these steps, as well as social distancing, should help all of us stay healthy.
Janney King, the king of clean.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, September the 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, sunny skies with a high of 75. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. That's brought to you by Carriages. Coming up today on OTBOT, we're talking to Joshua Sneed of SEC Shorts at 9:30. Make sure to follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Get over to the 1045 ESPN YouTube page. You can watch live there and get inside the Bayou Ford chat. Make sure to subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube pages. Set your notifications. New content posted there daily. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in, OTBOT. T-Bob, Danny, Musso, hanging out with you. Still parsing through, digesting. It was a rough week of football. Today's not quite turn the page day. Remember, tomorrow is our turn the page, look forward to week 3 day, where we'll kind of preview some of the big matchups. So go away with some of our NFL reactions from last week and that we didn't get to yesterday since we were so LSU and Saints heavy. I think I want to discuss a little bit what a rough weekend it was for Louisiana football defensive coaches. Some really perplexing issues out of both Pelini and Dennis Allen right now. And then a question that we keep getting in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, which is, how can LSU reload like Bama and Clemson did or do? And we'll start right there. Let's just go ahead and dive into that right there because that's something that people have asked me consistently all morning. I think the answer is quite simple. And that's why I didn't ask it to Coach O because I think the answer is twofold. First off, a school like Alabama and Clemson, they've obviously, that regime has been there much longer. So they've had over time the ability to gain that positive. I mean, how many years did it take Dabo to reach the breakthrough point? I feel like 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Yeah,
let's go back. Danny, pull me up like a Dabo career head coaching log here because I can't remember exactly. I do know that LSU was a key step in that process.
2012 Chick-fil-A Bowl.
With that was DeAndre Hopkins, wasn't it?
And Sammy Watkins and Tosh Boyd.
Well, look, DeAndre Hopkins, Sammy Watkins are still balling.
They're pretty good.
In the NFL.
Sammy Watkins got hurt on Clemson's first drive. That game was out for the rest of the game.
That's right, yeah.
So it was just DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean, it's really a game
it went very poorly for the home team.
You had no business losing had the offense done anything. I'll never forget
Very true.
it. I want to say that Clemson ran 98 plays to like 45 or something.
23-22, I think was the final score, something like that.
It was a game-winning field goal, but I had just never seen a game where one team literally ran over twice the amount of plays that the other did, and then it was still close. A lot of talent on that LSU
That
team
defense was I mean, bro, if you got all right, let's just not get
So
into
okay,
that.
the point is,
know
we don't need to
story. We know the
rehash this
story.
random like 2015 game or whatever it was, 2012. Okay, but the point is that was a key step in Dabo Swinney's rise, right? Because before that, we always used to talk about Clemsoning, right?
I think 2015 was Clemson's first playoff.
Okay, but I want to know. My main thing is I want to know. Yes, how many years was he the head coach of Clemson before they got to that playoff? But either way, and also with Clemson, the path to get back there is always easier, I believe, is an element. Although losing Mississippi State, that doesn't really matter. But the point is that regime's been in there for a long time. They've been able to establish and they're able to build that cycle, right? So that they're always able to replace the talent that they're losing. Their team in the benefit of the doubt club, they'll be in the playoff every single year. Alabama hyper accelerated that process like everything Nick Saban does. Like I think they went even faster. But you cannot deny now the momentum. I've always talked about this, Alabama, the momentum that they created. And you can say this for Clemson too, and this is what LSU's trying to get to. It's like a, what is it called when something can kind of create its own energy, right? It would ideally be like a perpetual motion machine, perpetual energy machine. It would be a breakthrough that like you would ideally want for like cars or something, right? It would change the world where the success starts to feed on itself, like a snake eating its own tail, and it recreates more success, right? So Alabama wins championships, and Clemson does, which then helps them recruit better, which then helps them win more championships. Start to recruit yourself at a certain point. And LSU can get there. And I think LSU's on the path there, but it's still a bit early on in the process. And I know you roll your eyes at the process, but there's a reason why that is caught on all over the place.
08 for Dabo.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
It's about 7 years.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 7-year rise. I don't know if
I
LSU
think
fans
that
are
was
willing to
their
be,
first
I don't know if LSU fans are willing to be that patient, but I mean, look, that's how long it took Clemson to get in there.
First playoff. And
2015 was the first playoff. That's what I thought.
Okay. So there you go.
They made the championship that year too.
Now, Saban definitely accelerated it more than that. Like he went about faster. So LSU's still in that building process. And then the other major part that we just can't ignore, and we tried to hand wave it away all offseason. And if you're still trying to hand wave it away, I don't know what to do, right? Because I said this on the Hold That podcast yesterday. There has been a take quake, okay? There has been a take quake, a tectonic shift of expectations. All the ground, the foundations that we built our takes on have been demolished by what we actually saw. And granted, we were building these takes with limited information and a weird offseason and all these other things. But we said, 8 returning starters, you're fine. A couple more opt-outs, it's more sketchy, you're fine. More chases, that's not good. But you know what? You still got Terrace Marshall. You got Racing McMath. And then, well, you're kind of thin on the D-line, but you just got Neil Farrell back, so that's good. Well, then you lose Glenn Logan for the game. And you're kind of thin at DB, but you have a lot of good young talent, and you have the best player in maybe the nation in Derek Stingley, and then you lose him, right? And so it just became this thing where we stayed the course. As the information changed, we continued to kind of hand wave things away, and you just can't. So that's the other major part. If this feels like a rebuild, it's because you returned 3 starters. Now, you still have a lot of talent, and I still love the future of this team. When you look at the young talent, you look especially at the future recruiting classes. Like, yeah, I think LSU is on the path to being that reloading team where every year it almost doesn't matter what they lose. They'll still be in that championship conversation year in and year out. This is just an unprecedented amount of loss in terms of everybody that you end up leaving. And then look, like it's, and whatever, everybody's dealing with this. This is not an excuse, right? But if there is no COVID, you don't lose Jamar Chase, right? You still have Tyler Shelvin. If he doesn't have that easy opt-out path to just kind of be like, well, now I don't have to go to camp and I can go to the NFL. Like, so it's like anything else in life. There's multiple contributing factors, but in the end, this is going to feel like a bit of a rebuild. But the future still remains incredibly bright. And one of the nice things about rebuilds, if you're a talented team, now this doesn't play if you don't have talent playing, but if you're a talented team, you learn lessons and you get significantly better for the next year. Look at the jump from the Fiesta Bowl to the national championship. And yes, there were schematic changes, but a lot of that comes with just experience as well. Time on task. It's something to talk about with Brennan. Should he be better after 4 years in program? We could have that argument. But I also know that it doesn't matter how long you spend in a program. Your first start is your first start. And you're going to be a little green around the gills. And this team is green, right? But they'll get experience. They're going to get saltier and saltier as the season goes on. And as we said earlier with Coach Sting, look, the only way to know if you're doing something wrong is to clearly identify it. And so a game like Mississippi State, it makes you confront those problems. You can't hand wave them away. You can't ignore them. Okay, you have personnel issues in that secondary. Maybe your personnel, especially without seeing it, isn't quite what you expect it to be. Okay, well, now you have to acknowledge that truth. And instead of being stubborn and stamping your feet about it and say, well, we're still going to play what we play, and that's that, you have to now say, okay, seeing that I have the personnel that I didn't quite expect to, or seeing that we're maybe not as good as we could, what can I now do schematically to put these players in the best position to succeed? And for Coach Pelini, a lot of talk about him being, out of the big leagues for a while now, and could he come back and get his stroke back? Look, I would say it's almost like, it's not quite like a Miles Brennan first start thing. He's coached a lot of football, but it's not wholly dissimilar, diving back into the deep end. And it seems like he had to learn some lessons and have some stuff revealed to him. So again, hopefully he sees, okay, what did I do wrong? I could have game planned better. I definitely could have made better in-game adjustments. And how do I carry that forward going into the future? So the problems are being laid out on the table. Yesterday was Tell the Truth Monday. It's where you do the autopsy, and now you just have to go and you have to improve. And but in terms of our original question, why is LSU rebuilding as opposed to reloading? They are on the reload trajectory. You just have to trust the process. That's right. All right, coming up next, let's dive into some NFL takes. I got a lot of thoughts from the NFL weekend, and we will get to next here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. Our listeners fire up their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
Hello.
What's up, B? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg. Roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front-to-Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-back boat services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on it.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Rohan Davies stops by for his weekly chat to talk LSU. Larry Holder talks some Saints with us, and Feinswag talks beer. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB OT. Some great conversation going on in the YouTube chat. Encourage you to get in there if you aren't. Was it William Ivy that asked? Let me see. He says, T-Bob, did LSU have better talent on the field Saturday, yes or no? And then you raised an interesting question as well, Musso, which was, I'll let you. What was your statement on Mississippi State?
No, I just said we were talking about Costello and how many years he had at State, or if he might, bolt to the draft this year. And I just said that I was really curious to still see how their season plays out because I'm not 100% sold on them as a team or a Costello yet, just because I think as they get deeper into this SEC schedule, teams will scheme better for them. I don't think LSU schemed very well for them, and I think that's becoming more and more apparent when you listen to Coach O yesterday, when you listen to him this morning, when you hear the points that you were raising out of that article.
Read Seth Galina from Pro Football Focus, his article. I mean, Chris Peterson laid out the blueprint.
The blueprint's right there. And you heard LSU, they were watching all the Washington State film. They're watching Stanford film on KJ Costello. If you're watching that much film, how does that happen? How is it? I get you had the injuries, and I know all that. But even still, when you're thought to be the far superior talented team, how does a guy throw for 623 yards on your defense?
Yeah, so ultimately, too, right? Because, that's what you said. You asked me, do you think Mississippi State's going to be good? And, my instinct is I still don't know because it's because you feel like other teams will scheme better. And that is pretty damning on
Alabama's not
staff.
about to give up 600 yards to them passing.
No, but you're not as good as Alabama this year. But I get what you're saying.
I'm using them as the
more impactful. Is A&M going to give?
Probably not going to give up 600 yards.
That's what I'm saying. That's more parallel to you this year.
I will tell you right now that Arkansas this weekend is probably not going to give up 600 yards passing against Mississippi State.
That's true. I mean, at least
they might give up 500, but they're not going to give up 600.
Make him play underneath and make him earn it bit by bit instead of let him over the top so much. So you ask, how does it happen, right? How does it happen? Because it looks inexplicable.
I would think scheme, right?
It looks, yes. But I mean, you're saying, how is that the scheme you landed on after you watched all the Washington State film? And you watched both Minshew last year and Anthony Gordon, or 2 years ago, and Anthony Gordon last year. You watched them both really struggle against what Washington is doing. Why didn't you try to crib that? How you arrived there, I think it's just a bit of, hubris. I think it's a bit of being married to your own system as opposed to maybe what has worked in the past. I mean, Coach Pelini, even though I do want to be clear about this. So I've thought about this game a lot, and my initial reactions on Saturday, and even carrying through to before I rewatched on Sunday, and I might have, well, even, I don't know, it's been evolving take over time, which is I don't want the blitzes to be blamed for the struggle. Now, when you add guys, you do take away some of the coverages that could have been successful against this air raid attack. But a lot of the times when you were getting beat, when you were screwing up, you were not actually adding guys to the rush. You were only rushing 4. So in a way, although I think the baseline reaction to this is to be like, you were over aggressive, because I remember texting someone like, I feel like I'm watching Todd Grantham emotionally blitzing, and that was me being emotional because there actually weren't emotional blitzes. The aggression wasn't the core issue. Like, the aggression actually kind of gets a thumbs up because you created turnovers, you got sacks. The core issue was the style of coverage that you were putting around that aggression, because even when you did try to dial it back and put more guys into coverage because you were still playing tight bump and run or like a zone man concept, it still just was not getting it done. And granted, though, but even then, maybe aggression wasn't the best of this, because like I said, 80% of the time, Chris Peterson just rushed 3 and dropped everybody else into coverage, and they kicked Washington State's ass. That is the other intriguing part about this, though, is this is Mike Leach with more talent than he's ever had before.
No,
even at a Mississippi State team where it's less talented than LSU and they're less talented than a lot of their FCC peers, it's still more talent than he had when he was at Texas Tech. It's definitely more than he had when he's at Washington State. I mean, he doesn't like having a running back like Kylan Hill. He probably hadn't felt about this a guy like this. It's like Michael Crabtree.
Well, you think Kylan Hill doesn't like having a head coach like Mike Leach right now?
Yeah, that's fair.
He's already proved he can run the ball. Now he's proven he can catch it out the backfield and just cause havoc after the catch or run after the catch.
Yeah, I mean,
Kylan Hill is about to get paid.
My guy Gary Danielson nailed it.
Kylan Hill is about to get paid.
He said that Kylan Hill needs to go give him a high five after the game. Todd Jones says, T-Bob, how much time does Pelini have with these kids to implement his plan and the players to execute? They've had enough time. Like, they had an extended preseason. I don't think that's the issue. Not having spring hurts, but everybody goes through that, right? And also, like, what you witnessed on Saturday, I don't think was a function of time. It was a function of committing to a game plan that just ends up not being correct, which happens. That happens. And then, like that Ole Miss game last year, kind of a failure to find your way to adjust out of it. So, rough times. But like I said, I think I'm ready to close the book on it. I'm ready to close. I think these are my final statements on Saturday's game. Does anybody else have anything to add here?
No, I mean, I think we all saw it. It happened, and now it's just, no. The page definitely needs to be turned to Vanderbilt. And
Todd Jones asks, okay, we'll give you a couple more credits. Todd Jones asks how many of these kids played on defense last year.
Jay Ward
you
had
even
some
lost
snaps.
Glenn Logan, so really, Cardell Flott had limited time near the end of the year.
Yeah, but he played some.
Yeah.
Damone Clark saw some snaps.
Todd Harris was back, of course.
Todd, one game.
The safeties are kind of a non-factor, but obviously the missed tackle on the sideline is what's going to define his game, unfortunately.
Mo Hampton saw a few snaps last year, and he was out there a lot. Damone Clark, we mentioned him.
So this is interesting.
Farrell.
Ryan says the game plan works if Junior plays, though. I
don't agree.
So I don't know if the game plan works. It works better.
But it might not prevent you from losing.
I am a bit higher on that, though, than I think others are. Others are like, well, it still wouldn't change it. I don't know. I think if you had Stingley, I actually think that it's definitely not a 2-possession game, and I think there's a good chance that you win this game. But that's what an elite. But that goes back to what we talk about every day on the OT, which is this entire year. Because I fully fell into the Malcolm Gladwell, and this is still true, but I think it went too hard this direction. I fully fell into the Malcolm Gladwell, like, kind of analytic idea of football being a weak link sport, right? Where your superstars are nice, but ultimately it's all about your weak links. And a lot of that's true. I mean, look at Saturday, right? Your weak links got exposed. But when you look at how the absence of Mike Thomas is dragging down the Saints, we keep talking about, DeAndre Hopkins on the Cardinals versus what the Texans look like, or Stephon Diggs and the Bills, and how good Josh Allen looks now versus what's happened to Kirk Cousins without Stephon Diggs. So I've been rethinking a lot about kind of the value and the impact of that true big-time all-star player. And yeah, I think that Stingley actually could have been potentially a 10-point difference. Potentially. Still got outplayed, outcoached, all that, but it would have worked better, but it still would not have worked as well as it should have. I still don't like the game plan.
I mean, it keeps Stingley out there, keeps an injured Jay Ward on the sideline. Darren Evans probably doesn't see as much time as he saw. You can keep
Yes,
You can
exactly.
keep Flott in the nickel.
It's the same thing that we talked about with Jamar
Rich
Chase.
would probably play on the outside, but
It's the same thing we talked about with Jamar Chase. The knock-on effect of these guys is huge as well.
it is. But if he locks down one side of the field, you still have to account for your linebackers not being able to keep up with Kylan Hill out of the backfield. Ricks had the pick,
scheme
but
still
he
has
didn't.
issues.
Ricks had the pick, but he didn't have an overall solid debut. It was good, and Cordell Flott just didn't look like the Cordell Flott we saw at the end of last season.
Yeah, and to look
So
at it
I
right,
still
man,
think you struggle. You don't give up 623 yards passing.
No, definitely not.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's all my point is that I think you could maybe win.
But I'm not so hard fast to say that you do win just because Derek Stingley's out there.
Are there any more questions I want to get to here? Brian Burgess asked, did the offense miss Brady more than anyone imagined?
I think in the red zone.
Yeah, I didn't love the red zone calls.
I didn't love the red zone calls either.
But they secretly weren't the best in the red zone last year, if I remember correctly. I mean, everything was incredible at the offense, but there was some weird little quirk where that maybe wasn't their strongest
They
suit.
struggled in the red zone against Auburn, but I mean, other than that,
I don't
really remember much struggle in the red zone.
We've talked a lot about the offensive scheme. I don't know that I disliked the offensive scheme. I think that is more on the execution of the players. Sure, if you want to say that you could have relied on the run a little more in the first half to ease pressure, I'd be willing to accept that. But, I mean, let's look at the game, right? I mean, the calls were solid. A lot of times guys were open. Maybe you didn't see him. You didn't get rid of the ball in time. Or sometimes when you did, right, it's a drop pass. Like Terrace Marshall, that slant that would have gone for forever.
Eric
or on
Gilbert
the
had
first
a drop.
drive when they were in rhythm. And Eric Gilbert has the first down on 2nd and 3. He misses that. I can't remember what happened on 3rd and 3, but next thing you know, you're punting. So, yeah, to me, offensively, I had no real issues with the game plan. I think you hit some big plays when you needed to hit them. I think offensively, the problems ultimately boiled down to the players. It boiled down to missed assignments. Well, just a little bit of everything. We've talked about ad nauseum. So okay, so that's it. That's it. Okay, that's it. It is what it is. You lost. Yeah, Ivy Aber, it's difficult to change defensive philosophy 24 hours after the Sting situation. I agree. He says been practicing man for a month. Like, that's why you don't make the switch. It's because you're so pot committed at that point. You can't just go do something that you're not used to doing. My point is, even with Stingley, the game plan should not have been that, in my opinion, if you look at what has had success against that air raid. I agree with Lathan. Those young guys in the secondary will benefit from this. I mean, yeah, like we said, you got to have yourself laid bare to know where you must improve. So, okay, that's it. That's it. Officially, we're done talking LSU, Mississippi State unless it comes up in passing. We are moving forward. We are on to Vanderbilt as a program. And now we are on to Josh Snead, who is the creator/host of SEC Shorts, brought to you by Renaissance Bank. It's fantastic. I watch him every week. And if you haven't seen this last LSU one, it is really damn funny. So we will talk to Snead next about how he makes the magic happen. Here on Off the Bench, 105 Hunter 94.7 ESPN.
OTB, OT.
Hey, y'all. You know what I love on game day? I love Hooters wings. Love me Hooters for years. I've been telling you about how Hooters is your headquarters for football. They get all the sweet TVs, the Hooter girls, the food, the drinks. They got it all. But we are in a pandemic, and maybe you can't make it into Hooters. Well, guess what? Hooters can come to you. You go to Hooters.com, HootersToGo.com, either one. You can order your wings, your apps, whatever you could possibly want right there. They cook it for you. You pick it up, and what do you know? Your game day is good to go. You're going to feed your guests. They're going to be super happy. You don't have to lift a finger. And check this out. You download the Hooters app. It's the easiest way to order to go. You get a free appetizer when you download the app, and that's just one of many prizes and other free food that you will get. So whether you're on Apple or Android store, they got it on everything. There it is. Get an app for an app. You see it on the screen right there. Hooters to go, wings to fly. Get them wings every Saturday. Hooters.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. We're live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street from 6 to 8 p.m. Come eat some steaks with us and say hello or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
You got Josh? What up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB OT here on 105.3 ESPN. Right now, it is my pleasure. I hit him up at the DMs yesterday. I slid right in there. It is my pleasure to be talking to one of the guys who, I don't know exactly what his relationship is with it. I just assume he's the creator. But of SEC Shorts, the YouTube series brought to you by Renaissance Bank. You see it all the time on YouTube every single week. They have really funny kind of shorts about what has happened in the last week in the SEC. Obviously, LSU, the prime player in this one, and it was hilarious. It's Joshua Sneed at JOS Need on Twitter. Josh, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Do you prefer Josh or Joshua? Real quick. Sorry, probably should have asked you ahead of time.
No, Josh is fine.
Okay, perfect. I got to say, man, I am a huge fan. I love anything that kind of talks about football and uses the storylines that football creates, but then isn't actually like about football. It's one of my favorite things. Like we do a couple similar things over here, which is why I've always sat back and just been really kind of in awe of how consistent y'all are, how funny y'all are. And so really, I just want to make this kind of like a behind the scenes thing. I want to pick your brain about all of this. So we'll start here. Where did it start? Like in terms of you, did you create it? Like, how did this all come about?
Yeah, so my buddy Robert Clay and I, we worked like this really boring office job together, where we edited gross medical lectures together. Like I don't know if you ever see something gross on Facebook and you show it to somebody, you're like, look at that, it's like a medical thing. Like that's what we did all day every day. It was disgusting, and so we were always trying to find ways to like do something different, get out of the office and stuff. And so Robert came up with this idea for what was it? Oh, it was right after Kick 6. And we made a video where the announcers didn't know that you could return a kick for a touchdown or whatever. So the announcers start going into talking about how it's like keys to overtime and stuff like that. The whole time, like people were rushing the field and celebrating and stuff. So we did that just for fun, and it I guess went viral a little bit. And so we got all excited and we're like, oh my gosh, we could do this. We'll do this all the time. But then we didn't because, you just get busy.
Yeah.
And then, so right about that time, the SEC Network started up, and Paul's show, was like 12 hours long. And so he was just looking for things to like eat up time, I think, when they're coming out of radio breaks. So he was letting fans submit videos. And so most everybody was just turning in videos of them like screaming into their phones about how much they hate whatever team. And we decided to just like, if we wrote out and shot like a sketch, it would have a better chance of getting on air. So it got on TV, and we're real excited. And so they asked us to keep doing them every week. And so we did for a full season. And then after that, AL.com here in Birmingham offered to pay us to do it. And so we stayed there for a few years, and now we're on our own and got a sponsor, and we do them for SEC Network throughout the week too. So it's been fun.
Dude, I mean, sorry,
eighth season.
Eighth season.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't even think I realized that. I mean, now you got Kirk Herbstreit, like even introing the videos. It's wild, man, to think about the growth from where it just started. So take me through take me through the creation process. So the slate of games ends on Saturdays. Do you all watch the games together? Are you like texting back and forth? When do you start writing? When do you film? All of that.
Yeah. So we're we'll text back and forth, but Robert's an Auburn fan, and I can't watch football games with Auburn fans. It's just impossible.
Who are you a fan of? Are you an Alabama fan?
Yeah, I am an Alabama fan. And
okay, well, it was great talking to Josh Sneed at J. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But,
okay.
No, but yeah, watching games with an Auburn fan, they bail on Gus like 4 or 5 times throughout the game, and then they're like, 1 second they're like, well, Gus is a mastermind, he's probably a genius, and then 2 plays later, they're like, I hate Gus. We should run his family out of town. It's terrible. So I can't do it. So we'll just text back and forth, and then we meet really early Sunday morning. We decide what we're going to do, and then from there we, Robert will, we'll come up with some ideas and some jokes, and then Robert will break out and do. He'll write the script, write the script up for us, and then I'll start looking for a location and find actors and all that, and then we have to go shoot it and get it edited before the end of the night. So kind of get it all done within 12 to 15 hours if we can, and then goes up Monday morning.
Were you an actor like going into this? Like, did you have any acting background? Because I even see you on like other commercials now, right? There, I was trying to think. There's one with a mustache that always used to make me laugh. But like, were you an actor?
Oh yeah, those are in Baton Rouge. That's right. With the EFCU, the credit union.
Oh yeah, every time I see, I'm like, oh dude, check it out. That's Steve. Look at that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So no, all that stuff has come from just being in the videos. So before then, I would, I did some like theater stuff in high school and college, but that's about it, just for fun. And then, so I've got some cool stuff from being just in SEC Shorts, where we do, in the off season, we'll do like corporate stuff and commercials and all that kind of stuff, fun stuff.
It's just so much. I mean, I look forward to them every Monday. I know everybody else does. What about this crew that you have? Are those local friends or those actors? Like, because you've assembled a nice group here where no matter what the episode calls from, it seems like you have a bullpen that you could just call from.
Yeah, so it cycles through a little bit sometimes, but yeah, we happen to just have friends that are like legit professional actors. So, whether it's like theater or like local stuff, commercials and things, we have a lot of friends that have acting experience, so we can pull from them. Local crew guys. We really depend on people around Birmingham too for like locations and crew and stuff like that. So we've been really lucky in that we have friends that already have the skill sets that we need to pull this off. So we've been kind of lucky. A lot of people will be like, why are you guys still in Birmingham? And it's because if we moved anywhere else, we wouldn't be able to make anything. So
dude, I've heard nothing but good things. Mo College made me over Birmingham. I heard it is a great city, a lot of good like artistic kind of cultural vibes in the city, so that would square I guess with what I've heard. Josh, which fan base reacts the most aggressively to your videos? Do you ever have any people upset with you?
Yeah, well, we're pretty like, if you've seen our videos, we don't like go after players or teams or coaches really. We just kind of like, if your team loses, it's more trying to commiserate with what it feels like to be a fan of that team. So we don't come out and say like, oh, LSU sucks now, because, next week you could look amazing and then we would look like idiots. So, we just kind of try to feel like, it's probably hard being an LSU fan right now. So we try to just make a video that shows we understand that instead of just going after a team. So we don't really have a lot of people come after us. Usually it's teams from other conferences and stuff that, people are like, oh, you're an idiot or something. I mean, just stuff like that. But as far as in the SEC, we make fun of Tennessee a lot. But
I mean, they kind of bring that on themselves, dude. I mean, they had the trash can as their turnover totem. Like, what are we doing here? You can put it on a tee.
Yeah, that's we still haven't done anything yet. But when we saw the bags of cash on the Ole Miss sideline, it was like, oh.
I mean, Lane.
Sometimes they just make it easy for you.
It's just crazy, Lane. I mean, it's so on the nose. The literal bag man. He's putting it right there out in front of you. Yeah. Hey, look, you had to be excited when the Lane Train and the Mad Pirate Mike Leach joined the conference, right? Like, for a creator, that brings a lot of creative juice to the equation.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just this week, the LSU thing was big, so we had to do something on that. But just like the opportunities with them, it's going to be so great. Like, we had so many ideas that we could have done with either coach this week, and we're excited about having them for sure. I am sad we missed out on the media days interviews with those guys, but whatever, it'll be fine. I think they'll make up for it during the season, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, I got to say, this last episode, just a fanboy for a moment, the interaction with the LSU and the A&M fan was just a chef's kiss of perfection. The 1,000-yard stare of the A&M fan was just it was fantastic. The whole episode's fantastic. The entire show's fantastic. I love it so much. What's your favorite part of doing all of this?
So the part, like the actual making of it, is pretty, like, it's not fun.
Yeah, stressful.
So my favorite part is just seeing people react to it and, interacting with fans and stuff after, where they'll come up and tell me their favorite parts or their favorite videos. That's probably like the best part of it, just to see that, it just makes people happy. And, we work really hard on it. So to see that people enjoy it, is pretty great.
So as a Bama fan, you got to be feeling pretty fat and cocky here after week 1, huh, Josh?
Oh,
feeling good?
It was that first half. I was like, well, sorry about your struggles, everybody. It's going to be an easy one for us.
Oh,
but we'll see. Who knows? Like, who knows who'll be able to stay healthy? Who knows who'll be able to turn it around really quick? You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Except you kind of do in college football. You just bank on Alabama, kind of. But not last year. Not last year, Josh. You son of a... Not last year, okay? We always will have that.
Oh, so I usually only get to go to like one game, and so I went to the LSU Alabama game last year.
Yes.
And just surrounded by LSU fans, and I was like, did I get the wrong section? I don't know what I did, but we did a ton of LSU videos last year because you're the greatest team in the history of college football.
Yeah.
And so I showed up, and I'm wearing like an Alabama shirt, and I'm sitting there, and all the LSU fans keep looking back, and they're like, "Man, aren't you that guy who makes all those LSU videos?" Yeah, because if LSU's your team, you only watch the LSU videos. You don't care about watching a Arkansas video. So I was like, oh, yeah. And they're like, what are you doing wearing an Alabama shirt? I was like, I didn't think about that. Like, whenever I meet Tennessee fans, they're like, oh, so you're not a Tennessee fan? It's like,
You're like,
why would I do
what?
that?
Have you watched? I mean, did you get that feeling? I don't know. Yeah. Well, look, Josh, I really can't thank you enough, man. Josh Sneed at J.O. Sneed on Twitter. Obviously, check out SEC Shorts on YouTube. It is so funny each and every week, even when it's not featuring LSU. But for LSU fans, if you haven't seen this last weekend, at least he can put a smile on your face after that terrible loss to Mississippi State on Saturday. Josh, thank you so much. Anything you want to push before you get out of here?
No, we got a video every morning on SEC Nation, Saturday mornings on the SEC Network. So look out for those, and then the regular video comes out Monday morning.
Love it, man. Thank you so much for stopping by today. This is a lot of fun. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, so we'll have to do it again.
Thanks for having me, man. I'll come back anytime.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks, Josh. Take it easy, bro. Like I said, if you haven't seen the videos, you should. It's fantastic. It's going to be a stressful Sunday, for sure. Putting that thing together for Monday, knowing you got it coming out.
12 hours.
Yeah. I can appreciate it.
That's a quick turnaround.
I can appreciate it for sure. The stress as the deadline approaches and you're trying to make something that people are going to like, and then they, whatever, you just don't know if they're going to like it or not. So great job by Josh. All right, we're going to close the show next here on OTBOT.
OTB OT.
Tune in Thursday night as we kick off Week 4 when the New York Jets host the Denver Broncos. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer comes in for an hour. We'll also be joined by Chris Doring of the SEC Network and SiriusXM Radio to break down the weekend in the SEC. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
First day of fall. Halloween decorations going up, boys.
The first day of fall is the 22nd of September, not the 29th.
Yeah, but the cold front just moved in.
Okay, but I mean,
Yeah, so you're
Actually.
you're the dumbass who sits there and tells me that it's fall when it's 90 degrees out and I'm sweating bullets and I got to change my underwear.
Inaccurate. I don't do that. But since
You just did it!
No, because
just
you
did
brought
it!
it up. Because you brought it up is why I did that. I don't just actively seek out people on the 22nd of September and be like,
Guys!
hey, man, the heat index is 110, but did you know it's fall? No, I don't do that.
Well, okay, you're right. I guess what I should have said, thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
For being so specific.
Robert.
Well, I'm spitting everywhere. It's actually not Robert. Isn't that interesting? My real name is Bobby. Which is not on you. I mean, everybody thinks it's
interesting.
Robert. But yeah, no, our actual, me, my grandpa, my dad, our actual names are Bobby Joseph Hebert. And then senior, second, third, obviously. Yeah.
You learn something new every day. How about that?
The point is, it feels great outside. It feels like fall. I was outside last night.
Because it is fall.
And I had to grab a little sweater. So that was kind of nice. And yeah, I just kind of enjoyed it back there. So, and Halloween, is it too early? I don't think so,
No,
right?
not at all. No.
Halloween decorations popping up around the house. I'm going to try to get mine up in the next couple of days, which does involve a terrifying, 20-foot ladder that I got to get up to get to, the front lights that I hang. And when I did it for Christmas, it was legitimately scary. I was shaking.
Not a heights guy?
No, I don't care about heights so much, but it's just I'm not a trust in me guy. So I'm automatically assuming that is this really pretty heavy to be this high on this ladder? Is ladder super extended? The angle, but hey, it worked out.
End up like Clark Griswold.
Well, the thing is, it's
one
one
lock
of
it in place.
It's one of those things where it's an all or nothing affair. So I painted a room in my house recently, right? And I felt this same way when I was going around doing some touch-ups all around the edge, and I had a cup of paint in my hand, right? And I'm like, if I drop this cup of paint, there's no coming back for this. It's done. I didn't have a tarp on the ground. I'm screwed. It's an all or nothing affair. All it takes is one mistake. I feel the same way about being 20 feet up high. Well, it was that's a long story, but whatever. But I feel the same way about being 20 feet up high on a ladder. All it takes is one.
That's true.
You'll be fine if you lock in. And it's so funny. I was literally, when I was painting, and I'm going to do this when I did the ladder too, I'm literally using the lessons learned by the Last Dance documentary over the summer. I was just constantly telling myself, be in the moment. Be in the moment. Don't think about dropping the paint. Don't think about being done. Don't think about what could go. Don't think about what you got to do next. Be in the moment. So it was okay, I got to step up here. I'm there. Okay, I'm going to dip here. I'm down. And I just tried to be super, super present, and it worked. Room looks great. Paint didn't spill. So fingers crossed, You won't hear about me having a broken leg tomorrow.
The ladder was wobbling on me, and I took that personally.
Did you get off the ladder?
I don't really like ladders.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're terrifying.
I don't really like them that much.
Are you not a heights guy?
I'm not a heights guy.
Oh, wow.
I don't like heights very much.
You a little scared of Chimes Rooftop?
No, that's not heights.
No,
I can do that.
I know.
Like, I can do things like that, like go to the top of a building, or as long as I'm enclosed and like airplane doesn't bother me. None of that. I just like heights.
Some interesting news coming out of the NFL as it is being announced right now. Daily College Football asking T-Bob when the media get back to practice. Not anytime soon. Probably not till next year, if I had to guess. But okay. So speaking of some Corona-related stories, it looks like the Tennessee Titans. If this is what Diana Rossini just tweeted. Okay, I don't know if this is confirmed or not. We are reacting to this very live, but that the Tennessee Titans will be shut down until Saturday in terms of people coming into the building. So no players, no coaches, as there have been a couple positive tests that they are working to confirm right now. This is not surprising. You knew this was going to happen eventually. I'm not surprised it happened to a winning team. Right? You're 3-0. You get a big comeback win over Minnesota. Like in any other time in the world, you'd be going out and you'd be celebrating said record. And so maybe you had a couple guys that did. But I guess the only interesting thing is here, from an NFL scheduling standpoint, do they change anything up? Because I have questions like, can players still get treatment? Right? If you're injured and you're trying to get back, but nobody's allowed in the building, what do you do? Can you go in there? Can you not? I imagine like how Zion had an exception, they would have something along those lines. So I want to see kind of how the actual protocol of it all works. And then do they move the game? Do you still play the game? And what that all looks like. And then do the Titans look unprepared for the game because they haven't been in there all week long? So we'll continue to develop this story as it develops. And tomorrow, I mean, I can't believe I didn't talk about any Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, but they're going to dominate the national headlines. But, I mean, we'll get to our NFL takes tomorrow as we look forward to week 3. Huge thank you to everybody who stopped by on this Tuesday show. Thank you to Matthew Musso, Danny Cardenas, our excellent, excellent producers. And thank you to our excellent listeners. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements.